Folks, welcome to the GMR Center Community Event number 2. Today we got Rocket League on the menu, and to bring you through this, it's myself, Seymour, alongside Squid. We got plenty of action with double elimination, single elimination, even a best of 5 for the grand finals, and a total prizing of $3,000. But Squid, how are you doing today? We got some Rocket League.
Oh boy, it's so spicy. There's a lot of great names in this tournament. I gotta be honest, I could not be more excited for this one because it's not terribly often that you get to see these kinds of community-run tournaments. You know, it does happen on occasion, but when you have Fisher in the rotation, then you know things are going to be spicy at the very least, and that's not the only headlining name here, so I gotta say, I am very much looking forward to how these matches pan out. There's gonna be a lot of drama, and I can't wait to see it unfold.
As am I, but as I was referring to when bringing us into this, we do have a double elimination bracket, so that means best of 3 in the winner's bracket up until the grand finals. If you drop down into the lower bracket, it is going to be looking like a best of 1, but as I referred to, best of 5 for the grand finals when we do make it there. Plenty of Rocket League, plenty of teams to go through, and a $3,000 prize pool broken down into the top 4 as well. So first place, $1.2K. Second place, $900. Third place, $600. And fourth place, $300. But it's not just about the prizing here, Squid. It's a community event. So it's a community event without a little bit of giveaway as well with it.
That is true, and for anybody that's out there, you can enter for a chance to win a $1,200 gaming PC. Now, let me tell you, that is no small sum of money. Like, I built this rig that I am, casting on right now. It costs, about $1,200, and this is a high-end device. So if you want to get in there, I highly recommend you check out the link that we are kind of rotating around there. So you can also enter for a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card, get yourself a couple of Steam games for that new spicy PC you just got by replying hashtag Festival of Gaming on to a tweet that is posted to the Gamer Center Twitter. I highly recommend you go and check it out because there are going to be some very happy people who take home those spicy prizes. And I mean, we should also note that the Festival of Gaming is an event that Gamer's hosting that will last over a minimum of 6 months with a total prize pool of $300,000. That is a lot of money. Oh my goodness.
It is. It's a whole lot of money, honestly. And with those giveaways, it's even more than just that money. It's like there's a whole lot to be given away today. I love what GMR does. This is the second time I've been on a GMR broadcast, and they are just giving away things so much, which is huge for these players or for these people who want to participate from the community. But as we do have Rocket League on the menu today, Squid, I mean, anything you want to see today? Anything you hoping to get with these players?
Just a lot of drama. Like I said, I got Fisher in the rotation. He is the one that I'm watching immediately, which is good news because I believe we actually have them up for our first match. So there is a bracket, which if you guys don't know, it's at challenge.com/GMR_RL. You can go and find that for yourself if you want to take a look. Highly recommend you do because I'm not going to go over all the names right now, but if you have a favorite community member in the bracket, that might be a good thing to look at. But like I said, we got Team Fisher and Team Bomby coming up first. And I got to be honest, Fisher, I'm seeing Joshua Squashers in the lobby too. Those guys competed together in RLCS. Alpha also in the lobby. Big name in CRL. So already some deadly contenders in match number 1. I don't actually know which team they're on. Okay, I won't claim to know which roster is which, but that might be a dangerous opponent for anybody.
Including, I mean, it's what you expect in a community event with a high caliber prizing like this. I mean, we're going to get some pretty top contenders here. They want to walk away with the cheese at the end of it. And you're right, drama, it's going to be spicy. It's going to be huge. And folks, don't forget to go over to GMR's Twitter. Check out those giveaways. Check out what they are offering, as well as you will find the hyperlinks over at their Twitter. I'm not going to say the hyperlinks since they're way too long as well, but it's going to be a great day. I'm loving Rocket League. We're just waiting to get these players all ready to set to go into this game number 1 for this best of 3 to start us off for the day. I mean, it's Rocket League, to start it off. It can't be any better than this.
And it cannot, and we have a lot more teams coming up as well. So this is only the first match of many that we're going to be having on stream. As you mentioned, best of 3s. We have a lot of time on the show for us to see all of these teams in action. I'm very excited to see what's going on. I do believe that we have the players just about ready in the lobby here. And I am just kind of confused about which players are on which team. But if I had to guess, Alpha, Fisher, Joshua Squasher, if they are on the same roster, I'm going to be pretty worried about everybody else. But I'm not going to put down Mr. Bomby. I'm seeing Phantom also in the lobby, as well as the Mystical Bear. A couple of names that I have seen around in, a couple of times in queue, although that was a long time ago when I used to grind the game. So take that as you will. But seriously, high-quality players.
Seriously, high quality indeed. And that makes me question about the teams that are going to be in here. I mean, how many high-level teams are we going to be getting to this bracket? Because it is going to be a long way. And I mean, Team Fisher, I want to see them have a little bit of competition against them. I'm hoping we get some competition against them because from the way we're kind of bringing this up, I mean, they are what looks like the team to beat right now.
That seems to be the case, and the players are ready to go now. First best of 3 of the day. I could not be more satisfied with how things are going to pan out today. Looking forward to an exciting day of Rocket League, and we begin. Josh and Squasher already in the air, looking for a double tap on the back where he doesn't find it, but what a way to begin.
Back down the field, Mystical Bear looking to set something up in front of the net. Big center, and the player reads it, but Josh or Squasher intercepts it in the middle, drops it back downfield, and a demo off that. That's going to leave this a little bit thin. Unfortunate mishap from Fisher is going to whiff on that ball, forcing Alpha to pick up now. Let's see if they can get something going on this.
Nice flick there by Phantom, trying to track it down though. Can't quite beat out Fisher. That's the kind of respect that you would expect, but now Mr. Balmy with a chance. He's getting a little bit heated over here in the blue half. Fisher having a bit of difficulty, that is to say Team Fisher, not the player. Although, certainly he probably has been having some difficulty. A minute in here, certainly not a one-sided competition. There have been some decent looks on both sides of the net. I'm curious to see how the rotations shape up here as we move forward. Josh, though, I love that idea, but clearly, bit of a miscue.
Yeah, Alpo definitely trying to read that off the backboard. Not expecting the double touch off of Josher now. Back down the field. Intercepted by Alpha. Here comes Josher for the help. Puts one through. Hits it off the post. And that's going to be Alpha striking first.
And when you're looking at this play, you got to be scared. Josh or Squasher just lurking off your sidewall. And Alpha coming down at you at the top of the box with nobody out there to contest early. That is going to be a scary thing to look at. And that will be goal number 1 there for Team Fisher.
Off the kickoff, Mystical Bear is going to drop it. Josher, another demo. He's been quite the menace on the pitch so far, leaving this team a little bit thin, and we're going to help things out. A little bit of a bump. Pops it up. Alpha for the shot. Nice interception. Big save from Bomby with a secondary shot from Fisher. Off the backboard, double touch, and he's going to dunk that down.
Oh, the flip reset 2 here from Fisher. This is the kind of mechanical prowess you expect from this guy, and this is why he has been considered one of, I think, the best, not quite there, players in my opinion. And that is to say mostly, he's out there. He's a social presence on Twitter. Everybody knows Fisher in the Twitterverse. Congratulations on 5K, by the way. If for some reason he's hearing this retroactively, or he's got the stream open right now, congrats on 5K on Twitter. That's quite the achievement, sir.
Well, let's see if we can kind of show off to this 5K here in the first game. Already a good start, 2-0. 3 minutes left. As just for those tuning in, this is the best of 3. Game number 1 right now. Looking heavy towards Team Fisher. Off the top ropes, Josher looking to get a 1-2 out there, but a little bit of miscommunication. And Phantom back downfield. Good opportunity to strike, but a big demo from Alpha to save the net.
They really are struggling to try and gain some ground here. Our Team Bomby, you can see Phantom being chased away from the net. This is precisely what I'm talking about. They try to make some sort of a clearance happen here. Bomby just trying to gain space for a reset, but Phantom is just running away from Alpha. They have no options.
I mean, Team Bomby, every single time I see them take it downfield back towards Fisher's half, they're always getting boxed out. They just can't get some control in the opposing end. It's been constantly the aerials dominated from Team Fisher. As expected here again, Mystical Bear is going to get a demo onto Alpha. That is going to leave them thin, but Josh is doing a great job at keeping things neutral in the air, allowing Alpha to get back into this pitch. As Fisher's turn now, centers it out. Alpha for the secondary, takes it up and high. Can he get that double touch? Phantom's there to keep it away. And a great clear from Mystical Bear.
All necessary respect there on the back end for Team Bomby. They absolutely need to be up there defending that backboard. It's something I love to talk about when I'm casting high-level tournaments, and, well, I love the idea. This is in line with what I was just saying, but not quite there on the execution.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Bomby, you saw what he was going for. You saw what he wanted to do, but sometimes you just don't have enough juice in your tank to make it happen. And right there, we see him fall victim to a good old own goal. Now 4-0 start, 2 minutes left. Team Fisher in a really comfortable zone.
I gotta be honest, it probably wouldn't be much of a community tournament if you didn't have at least one own goal. There's quite a few.
You're right.
People, there's quite a few people in the scene known for making own goals happen. I don't think anybody on the pitch here is particularly reputable in that area, but perhaps this is their time to make their reputation known. I will say though, one thing for certain is that Team Fisher is having the time of their lives out there on Manfield presently. They don't seem in the least concerned about their odds of taking this game. Fisher for number 5 now will only add nails to the coffin here with 95 seconds to go.
So many nails right now. Just look at this. Bommy stacked on top of each other. All 3 players in the same half, and that is going to leave an open shot towards the left. Fisher, great job at redirecting that one. Now, like you said, putting 5 on board. We're looking now for Bommy to get some semblance of momentum going because this is a best of 3. We still got another game after this one, and you're hoping you can walk away from this game number 1 with a little bit of drive to survive. Fisher dropping it downfield into the corner, centers it out. Bommy now to push it out. But it's Alpha keeping it alive in the neutral zone.
Nice save there by Phantom. You talk about Alpha just keeping it alive in the neutral zone. That feels like it's really the game plan here for Team Fisher. And Mr. Bommy, his team is going to have to find some sort of a counterplay to that, whether that just be, closing the gap, even if you can't make an impactful touch on the ball, or just making these long clearances that you can play a little bit of dump and chase with, as we see here. That ended up working out for them, actually. Out in front here, Josher forced to make 2 taps off the backboard, does also get a 3rd one, and will clear it away. But still already tangible improvement there. We haven't seen much zone time here out of the orange side. So, already a little bit of improvement. Baby steps, as they say. I mean, They'll have the entirety of the 60 seconds between games 1 and 2 to make changes. Perhaps that'll be in the conversation.
It has to be in the conversation. I mean, this is your winner's bracket right now. You don't want to drop to the losers so early because then you're in the best of 1 situations. And you don't want to be fighting for your life without any comfort in a best of 1 situation. So definitely going to be taking the 60 seconds to talk things over, change things up, because game number 1 is looking like it's over, and it's looking like Team Fisher are comfortable here.
They are certainly looking comfortable. I mentioned, earlier on, it was part of the discussion, Alpha, Fisher, Joshua Squasher, very high velocity, high impact team that I was expecting to see here. All of them very mechanically gifted. I don't want to keep saying that because then Fisher's probably going to clip it and put it on Twitter. No, they're pretty average. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Average all around,
right.
Made day 2 of RLCS. I was pretty excited about that. I got to say, personally. I was excited for Fisher. But now, I can't outplay him too much. Otherwise, I'm going to get some flack when he goes down in flames. So I don't really know where to go from here. I bet Mr. Bommy. Yeah, that's where I go. I bet Team Mr. Bommy takes game 2. Starts the reverse sweep right here and now.
Bold take. Let's see it pay off though. Let's see if that 60 seconds to talk really changed things up for this team. As Alpha playing backboard defense to take it out of the zone once more. Josh are going to set something up in the enemy zone. Excellent play here from Phantom with the help of Mystic to drive it back down. But again, something that you've been kind of pointing out for this Team Bomby squad is that when they do get it downfield, they don't really have time in the zone controlled.
Seems like it might change though. Lots of open space now here for Phantom. Gonna get up in the air with the Fisher actually coming from below and making that contact. But here we go, the recursion play off the backboard. It's there. Alpha just a little bit too quick and even finds the transition up to Fisher. Shot on and in. Oh, baby. The 1-2 from Alpha to Fisher makes it 1-0. What a play.
Not your average shot right there. Well timed, well placed, and well executed. Fisher strikes first this time around, keeping their, I guess, undisputed lead right now going. Haven't yet let a goal in against. Now 4 minutes and 12 seconds left. You're looking at Fisher to put a second down. Sacked up is Team Bomby. Looking to break out of the zone. Phantom spearheading this shot. Flips it over Fisher. Chance now in front of the net. Josher gets up and keeps it away.
You have to keep it in their own half for now. Searching for some boost. They will not find it. Miss Gobert with the boost steal out in front here. Phantom almost puts number 1 on the board here on this series for Team Mr. Bomby. Cannot quite find it now. Alpha with the air dribble. Oh my goodness. Over top of Mystical Bear. The defense in shambles on the pack line. Joshua Squasher running them through.
I mean, our Mystical Bear couldn't even get there in time. It was smooth sailing for Alpha in the air. He wanted it, and he knew what to do, so he got it. 2 quick goals into this game number 2. Nice pass to Joshua right off the bat, looking for number 3 right away, but Bommy's going to be up in time. He's going to shut that down before it can get any semblance of dangerous. As Bommy now drops it down to Phantom, can't pick it up. Back up the wall. For a second now. Off the ground, though, can't get a double touch. Bommy has to dedicate himself, but that's an open net right now. Joshua Squasher is going to be a little bit too high to follow up with that shot, but it is going to be a little bit dangerous now for Team Bommy to have to get some control back in their zone.
They are being given a lot of respect, though, by Team Fisher. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why they've been unable to score as of yet, despite the fact that Team Fisher has been able to move down impactfully into the offensive half more often than not. They do recognize when a situation is not favorable for them, and they are there ready for it, just as Fisher was right there, getting that clearance just moments before that shot on target came through. Now, potential for an open net down the other way. Mystic Bear just needs to get around it, and they cannot succeed in that endeavor. And it's just skied off the backboard. There's nothing they can do about that. That's a bit of a heartbreaker to me.
It's heartbreaking. It's a big missed opportunity, Squid, right there. That would have been their first of the series, and honestly cuts the lead down to 1. Would have been a big feels-good goal for Team Bommy. A bump out of the zone. Mystical Bear now out of position. Alpha had a chance to take a shot, but Phantom, great job at recovering where his teammate left. A chance to center it out. Bomby for the shot. Fisher intercepts. Now it's Mystical Bear's turn. Off the sidewall. Nobody there to follow up for a shot. Alpha able to carry it out, but open net this time around. No boost for Phantom, so he can't get there in time.
Just expending everything that they have just to get control away from Team Fisher. And you can tell that there's been a couple of situations where they're slightly dissatisfied with their inability to follow up on the opportunity created. Now Alpha, the double tap here on target. Oh my goodness. It's just a show off. I'd like to just show it off at this point. What is this?
They're dominating the air, Squid. And look at Bommy's in the net. He had no boost. He just had to sit there and watch it happen.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, at that point, what can you do? You don't have anybody that's on the backboard. You just kind of have to hope that Alpha misses. And how often does that happen?
Well, so far in this game, not very often. 3-0 now into game number 2. Minute 40 to pull things back to send us to a game 3 if you are Team Bommy, but without scoring a goal in game 1 and missed so many opportunities in game 2, this is looking like the home stretch right now for Team Fisher in their first game of the bracket. Chance to set something up again, but it is going to be some defense to bring it back downfield.
Only 75 seconds here. Bit of a mistouch, though, from Joshua Squash. They actually touch it back down to their own box. Fisher can't make contact. Phantom now looking for something, but cannot get any power on the flick here. That would have been an excellent opening for them to take advantage of. They do keep it in the zone, though. Still competing. It's off the backboard, but Fisher has an amazing read. Well set prior to that touch even being made. Alpha looking for the angle and finds it. And that hat trick here for Alpha. What are you going to do when this man is looking at your net?
It's not even just looking at your net. It's like calculating Bommy on that turnaround, just understanding he's way out of position for that save. Didn't get set up to stop that shot. Threads the needle between him, and so far, shutout for Team Fisher in game 1, and with 50 seconds left, it looks like they're looking to keep this a similar pattern. Alpha sets up Joshua in front of the net. Alpha now 4 on the board. It's another 5 shot.
I feel like this is going to be quite decidedly Alpha's game to have won. Very nicely played, surely, but I mean, Mr. Bommy, they had a couple of open net opportunities. It makes you wonder, right, where we could have been should they have scored that one tying goal earlier, or at least cut the deficit down to just 1 on one of those open nets that they couldn't quite recover enough to put on target. What would have happened?
I honestly, maybe we would have got a different game. Maybe we would have got something totally different out of the squad. It's just heartbreak after heartbreak, keeping them down in the dumps. Now downfield, looking for one last hurrah before this game is going to end with 15 seconds left. Alpha says, no can do, bud. Let's go back down. Keep this shutout alive. 10 seconds left, and Team Fisher looking like they're going to move on into the winner's bracket. sending Team Bomby down to the lower to fight for their life.
I don't think there's really too much doubt in anybody's mind after watching this one that Team Fisher deserves to move forward. They're looking for one last hurrah. As you mentioned, of their own. They really do not need it, though. 10 goals in total for in 2 games from Team Fisher. Dominant performance here from Alpa in Game 2. 9 total shots. Mr. Bomb, getting a little bit cheesy in the chat. Y'all can't see it, but just a little bit of friendly banter going on. That's what we love about the Rocket League community.
Yeah.
Well and truly. Everybody is friends. You know, world peace and love and all of that stuff. So there you go.
Peace and love in Rocket League. It sounds like a documentary.
It's love in Rocket League. Well, I don't know if those 2 things, those 3 things are exactly synonymous, but close enough, surely.
It's not what we expected this for game number 1 from Fisher's caliber. You know, from a team like this coming together into a community event. I mean, I'm hoping that we get a team to match up to their skill level so far, because they look like they are on point right now in game 1. You know, usually a team shows up a little bit cold, but Fisher, they showed up ready.
That they did, and we are already looking kind of forward to what we're going to be seeing here in the near future. So I'm going to take a quick look over at where I got my bracket, and I've been told that we have match 11 coming up next. And I'm looking at the teams here, and I'm actually seeing, surprisingly enough, some names that I am not familiar with here as a team captains, although they are on the same side of the bracket as Team Fisher. So whoever wins here may have to play off against Team Fisher in round 3 of the winner's side. And I'm very excited to see what's going on there, but it sounds like we might be about to take a break here, Seymour. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
No, we are going to be heading to a break, and when we come back, like you said, we are going to be going into match number 11. So, folks, stay tuned. GMR Center Rocket League will be right back after the short intermission. Welcome back, folks, to the GMR Center community event where we're looking at Rocket League and irregular coverage covered by myself, Seymour, and Squid. Squid, we just saw quite a dominant game number one. We just say in the bracket, Team Fisher. We expected dominance. They brought dominance, but now we're heading into match 11, as you were hinting to before the break, and we are looking at Team Saptervow versus Team Sunder, as they are going to be going head-to-head up next.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing what we have from the opposite side of the pond, because both these teams are hailing from the European region, and as many people know, EU is greater than NA, but as us NA people know, NA greater than EU. It's just a whole. I don't even know why I brought it up. It's a whole debacle. Anyways, though, hopefully they have what it takes to bring a fight to Team Fisher again, who they are looking at on the other side of the bracket. I really am looking down at the teams list over here with my bracket that's pulled up, and I really feel like Team Fisher is probably going to be one to look out for. But that all remains to be seen. You can't really say anything about that. There's certainly going to be some weaknesses that they show. After all, they're only a day 2 RLCS player.
Only a day 2. Only an average team.
Average at best, honestly. Everybody can make day 2 of RLCS, but
it's just a thing. It's just another thing. But it is something that these teams need to look out now. It's like, you hinted that winner of this match is gonna most likely go to play them. So you gotta kind of look at your competition and judge that you need to most likely step up when you're playing that. But for folks just tuning in, first off, welcome to the GMR Center community event number 2. Second of all, if you're wondering what GMR is, well, GMR is an innovative software development company building gaming tools in Web3. And right now, they're creating a gamer's social paradise over on the GMR.Center, where you can sign up now for their beta release in the next few weeks. So go check that out, because honestly, it sounds awesome. If you were into innovative software development, go check it out for yourself and see exactly what they're up to over there. GMR.Center, by the way, Squid, seems like we are getting these players into the lobby and ready to go.
And it does, but before we do that, let's take one quick step back, one more time, and talk a little bit, because we did at the top of the show, but let's talk about, again, what is exactly on the line here. But before we do that, I also want to shout out the giveaways that we do have, because GMR is giving away a $1,200 gaming PC. Can't overstate how much value is in that. I said it kind of before, but I'll reiterate. The rig that I have costs about $1,200. This thing is purpose-built for what I'm doing here. I'm running a lot of stuff on it right now. I've got I've got production software going on over here. I've got 4 monitors, production software going on here, game going on here. Well, I have 240 frames per second, 144 hertz monitor, 2K resolution. This thing is capable of a heck of a lot, is the point I'm trying to make. And they're just giving one away. So get in there right now if you want a chance at that. And not only that, but they're also giving away a $100 Amazon gift card. So if you want to get a little bit of extra stuff, maybe you want to treat your mom to a nice lunch. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's not for me to judge, but if you want a chance to get that $100 Amazon gift card, there is a link up on their Twitter page, twitter.com/GMR Centers. Highly recommend you go and check that out if you want to get some free money, which who doesn't want?
Ooh. Honestly, I'd be insane not to sign up for the giveaway. Imagine winning both of them, Squid. Then you get a free computer, and then you can use that Amazon gift card and buy games. Buy even more peripherals. That's
like the perfect day.
Yeah.
Honestly. It's just oh, wow, look, I won a $1,200 gaming PC. Oh, wow, look, I won $100 I can spend on new gear, and it's just bliss.
It's like you skip ahead a few months and it's already Christmas, for all you know, in that whole sense. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot on the line other than the giveaways. Also a prize pool for these teams of $3,000 broken down into the top 4 if you want to walk away with some of that cash prize. It is going to be first place walking away with $1,200, second place $900, third place $600, and fourth place $400. So obviously teams are going to be aiming for that 1.2K rate at the top, but if you make it to top 4, getting a little bit of a piece of that prize.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if maybe I should have entered this tournament by myself, because I'm kind of wanting some of that. I already talked about how I would enjoy free money, but competing in the game that I love most and then getting money for it, yeah, I probably wouldn't make it that far. Let's be honest.
Team of 2.
But Hey, is it too late for us to sign up? Hang on.
Maybe.
We got our broadcaster. Can he be our third, and then we could just sign up as a team? Is that allowed? Is it too late?
Back in my day, I think I made it to champ back in my day.
Oh,
was that like maybe like 2017?
High roller. 2017 champ was actually insane, but it does look like we have the players ready to go here. So Team Sunder and Team Sapterval again hailing from the ever amazing European region this time around.
Yeah.
So we're skipping across the pond here to get some more fast-paced action potentially going here. The players are already best of 3 here in the winner's side of the bracket. This is round 2, so they've already got 1 win under their belt. Let's see what they can bring to the table.
Let's see it indeed. Game number 1 underway, and immediately it's gonna be Luap to set things up. Kevo off the roof. Nice shot off the bottom of his car. He's gonna strike so early, 6 seconds in.
All right, well, I was talking about how, oh yeah, let's get some of that EU skill here. Look at this pre-jump. What? I don't even know how they coordinate that kind of thing, to be honest. I bet they just kind of jumped at it and let it happen.
It's just one of those, like, I didn't mean for it to happen, but it did, and I'm okay with it. We're up 1-0. Let's see it. Luap going for another one. Sets him up in the air. And look at that. Kevo again jumping from across the pitch to sink it away.
Seems like this might be a classic duo here. Gold over 5. Bit of unfortunate contact. Trying to get that dunk. Clear it back out to the corner, but ends up popping straight up and makes it a nice and easy set piece there for Kevo. Off the face-off already, too. Get a double cheat strategy there for Team Sunder. They're having some troubles here trying to get out into the attacking half. Again, it's Kevo up to Sapterval that time around. They were looking for something real fancy off the backboard. You can tell they're getting comfortable.
Oh, you can tell. You can tell as well that synergy doesn't just reside in the duo that we've seen so far. Sapterval wants a little bit of a piece of it as well. Luap now looking to set things up. This is where we've seen it dangerous off the wall. Sapterval, top board is Kevo there. No, he's not. It is going to be bringing things back. A demo. Have to be careful now if you are Team Sunder to set things up without that player on board. Luap, like he's a little bit respectful of this shot, but Team Sunder, they are struggling right now to get this ball out of the zone.
Doesn't seem as much. I will say, though, they got a little bit more style to them. You can see kind of the very focused and clean cars on the orange side versus more colorful, I suppose, cars on the blue side with toppers and antennas to boot. But they are holding their own. It's not often something that you see players getting a little bit comfortable with those customizations, but they seem to be doing just fine here on the defensive side. Of course, right as I say that, Sapterval narrowly has an opportunity to break through. The goal line will stand tall, though. They finally get it past the midfield line for the first time, what feels like forever.
And you can see Luap not just getting fancy with it, but taking it into his own hands now with a goal, doing it all. I mean, the setups that he's showing, the passes, as well as the physical play, and on top of that, just threading the needle between all 3 players. This is a quick 3-0 from Team Sapterval, and they are making it look smooth.
Does seem like a pretty one-sided affair so far. Again, the zone time has been immense from Team Sapterval. They almost get another one there. It just trickled in. It could easily have been number 4. We'll get pushed back only momentarily, though. What a pass now across. It was Luap looking for Kevo. They could not quite find the connection. The ideas are there. We saw the chemistry very, very early on. They've kind of quieted down a little bit, but still ever prevalent here on the field. You got to respect that duo.
Again, maybe? Can't get up in time. Kevo, still in the half. Up to Luap. Pass it over. Not enough boost to get in front of that ball, so still has to go back to the drawing board. Off the wall. Luap pick it up again. Double touch in front of the net. Sapterval just off target. Hits the post. Kevo double down on the shot, and he's going to put it in for 4.
Finally, Sapterval getting a little bit involved as well twice now, having such a nice opportunity to put the ball on target and just going wide, but they will get an assist here. So at least a little bit of goal participation on that front. Kevo sitting at 100%, well and truly leading the team with that hat trick now. The shot count again here, Team Sunder, they have yet to put one up against the 9. Make it 10 now for Team Sapterval and Luap with a double here.
Squid, I don't want to say anything too soon, but this team looks like exactly what we need to go up against Team Fisher right now.
that might be the case. And we'll see how it pans out, you know?
Yeah.
There's still a lot to be seen about that, but it's not impossible that they give him a bit of a run for it.
Gonna have to see how this plays out for the rest of it. Still plenty of time for Team Thunder to find their first on the board, but that is heartbreaking right there. I don't think he had enough boost to reach it. Luap just tossed it a little bit over the side, and Zapfrel didn't even need to hit that, and goal just so close yet so far away.
Sometimes it feels like that. Even at the top level of Rocket League, if you don't have boost, if you're just a little bit behind the play, whether that be physically or mentally, it can be so difficult to get back in. It's Zapfrel, number 7 here. This is beginning to look like, well, I guess it's not beginning to, but it's more starting to take the form of a blowout here with 2 minutes to go. And as you mentioned, Team Thunder, they're still looking for their first. They're still looking for their first shot. This could turn into a perfect shutout from Team Zapfrel.
Looking indeed. Double whiff. Nimbus and Mate. Capo setting things up. Can't get the flip reset in time. Still in front of the net. Still dangerous as ever. Excellent cover from Mate now to put that deep back into the corner. Draws it up though. Zapfrel looking to put things through just off target. Minute 32 left in this, and the 7-0 looking comfortable, looking for that 8th right now. Zapfrel shot wide, as they're getting plenty of shots on right now, but just off target again. I mean, their lead is quite comfortable, so I'm sure they don't mind. Kevo going in for the 8th, but not going to happen still. Fishing for it.
Yeah, well, I think at this point, for Team Zapfrel, they know one way or the other, despite the potential on the other side, they pretty well have this one in the bag. This is no different. Luap will this time assist Kevo. Oh, this is the classic duo that we saw earlier on. But at this point, I feel like they might just be trying to let off the gas a little bit, right? You know, conserve energy for the next game. I am uncertain if we will see any sort of a resurgence here from Team Thunder, but it is not impossible. As Kronovi once said, you never want to underestimate your opponent. You always have to have some form of respect, no matter the situation. Wise words.
Very wise. I mean, that's basically entails to anything with competition to it. But right now, the competition's looking heavily to the side of Team Zapfrel. As Capo yet again with the duo, the trusty sidekick of Luap, helping that one with the assist. 46 seconds until this team walks away with game number 1, and right now they're looking to get fancy with double digits.
Oh, but no perfect shutout. That's shot number 1 for Team Thunder. Already improvement. Baby steps. Baby steps. Perhaps we'll see it evolve yet into something. I don't think so, but it's not impossible, okay? And we shall see if there will be some sort of resurgence. But final 20 seconds down the clock here. Seems like a relatively solid performance here from Team Zapfrel. And that is to say, Zapfrel himself. Okay, all right, that was close. Made out of nowhere.
With that.
Wait, it's still in front here. Emma well cleared away. Oh, that's well past goal number 5. This looks like it might be the end of the game then. They're looking for one more. They can't quite find it for the double digits, and time will expire. But still, I'm wondering now if Team Fisher is kind of watching this stream here and trying to figure out what they're going to be up against here in Team Zapfrel, and that also might be part of the reason why they decided to stop going hard in the paint, as they say.
That was quite the... I mean, 9-0 was quite the game out of the two. And look at the stats at Lua as well. You know, 4 assists, 8 shots, keeping up with Kevo's shots, but just being there at the right time to set up his team. You said it yourself at the start. I mean, 2 shots in, they already looked like a synergized duo. And they're just so compatible with each other. I mean, Zapfrel at the start of the game really didn't have to do anything.
I know, and that's what I was just about to say before Mate Mid almost scored number 1 there for Team Thunder. Is I was thinking to myself, it's ironic, this is Team Zapfrel, and yet Zapfrel doesn't really have to do anything, so I guess great job picking your team.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's the best kind of team, is a team where you don't have to do anything.
It's one of those, it's like work efficient, not hard. You know, you just pick the right players to get on your team.
Lead from the back.
Yeah. Just making sure you're just encouraging them. In turn, Cavo, though, this is dangerous. He's going to take it right across his own net. Picks up the boost and going to set things up early.
Oh my goodness, though, the flip reset. Oh my. Oh jeez. Oh boy. I gotta be honest, this is even difficult for high-level players to read here. I can only imagine Team Sunder having a little bit of difficulty with that one.
This is just a class of their own right now inside of it. And Team Sunder, they are having trouble grasping at how to counter this right now. Cavo, again, from above. Double touch off the ground, but is going to go post to post. Set up from Saptervow. For number 2. In front of the net, Cavo. Who else but Cavo to be there to put it away?
You can tell right now, Team Sunder, they don't exactly have things sorted out in the vein that I was hoping. You know, that's what I do like about Rocket League, is that you get a clean slate. No matter what the result was of Game 1, you get a clean slate. I think, unfortunately, it might not have the greatest impact on the outcome of the series. However, it still is there for the teams to get that mental reset, which is vitally important. I will most likely be talking about that later on in the bracket, so keep that one in the back of your brain, store that, put it in a memory for me, if you would. But at this point, I'm not really certain if it's going to be that big of a factor here. Again, it is Team Sapphire off the attack. We saw Lou just a moment ago trying to get fancy with another flip reset. Didn't quite put it on target. And I don't think at this point they really need to. Again, you know, they might be looking forward and thinking to themselves like, hey, let's try and save most of our plays, see what team, make sure that Team Fisher doesn't know what we have in store.
They want to keep their arsenal hidden. But, you know, I agree with you. You know, the mental game is one of many things that I really appreciate about Rocket League. And the clean slate is definitely something to be looking at later on. As I'm sure that inside, further down the bracket, that is definitely going to be something that needs to come into hand for a lot of these teams. But right now, this clean slate is looking like it picked up right where it left off.
Does seem that way. Only, what does that make, 79 seconds into Game 2, 4 goals scored. At least a goal every 20 seconds. Pretty impressive. Although, again, I feel like Team Saptervow have a pretty good grasp on the situation here. So I don't think they're going to be too concerned about this. Their morale is going to be pretty high. On the other hand, the morale for Team Sunder, maybe not so much. They will still have another life in the lower bracket, barring some miracle here where they push to Game 3. But I personally call it a hunch. I'm not sure if I see that happening.
I think it's a pretty strong hunch, in my opinion.
So.
From that. But you're right, you know, fighting for your life in the best of ones, you know, you don't have that mental reset, though, down there. You are going to be coming out swinging all the way through that gauntlet that is the lower bracket. And right now, into this game, you need to be looking ahead, because just calling it as it is, they are getting outclassed right now from Team Saptervow, and with the 6-0 lead, 3 minutes and 22 seconds, plenty of time to pull things back, but like you said, it would be a miracle from what we've seen in Game 1 and so far in Game 2, so I need to see Team Sunder just looking ahead to what they need to improve on in order to fight through that lower bracket, in order to get through that gauntlet that is the lower side of things, and there's going to be a lot of improvement needed.
How much is true? As you mentioned, sometimes you just come up against somebody who is just that much better, right? And this is the great thing about Rocket League, is the skill ceiling is so high. I can almost guarantee you Team Sunder are not necessarily bad players. We have not been able to see them on offense. We have not been able to see these players really put their minds to the game, just because the mechanical outclass here has been so immense from Team Saptervow. These players are likely intelligent enough to play the game at a high level, but they just need more practice.
And that is, again, another thing that I love about this game, is that you tend to see different styles of teams. The mechanical teams, the strategic teams, and the physical teams. You know, there's all kinds of different classes of high-level play right now, and you need to find your own if you want to go head-to-head with a team right now of this caliber. Still looking for the first on the board as well, and honestly, that would be quite the takeaway right now. If you find one on the board, baby steps.
That is what I've been saying. At least a little bit. You know, get things a little bit underway. Past halftime here, 8-0 in favor of Team Zaptervow. And I'm thinking ahead now, you know, what the implications are for them. We talked about, of course, you've got some tough opponents coming forward. But they will be in round 3 of the upper side of the bracket, which, if I'm looking here, let me see. That will put them in the top 6 teams, I believe. So, just one more round win should put them one or two. Yeah, I'm looking at this.
I think it's like
I
top
don't know
8.
how to do
Top
math.
8 is next.
I'm
Top
not a
8
math guy.
Should be top 8 next for the winners bracket, and then into top 6, top 4 when you're looking at the winners finals.
Still though, like a win here puts them in the top 8. Then one or two more wins puts them in the money. So this might actually be a welcome reprieve here for Team Zaptervow. Although you do also have to question, you know, perhaps you don't necessarily have to put your best foot forward, but that can kind of put you a little bit on ice because you're not utilizing your mechanical abilities, you know, to the absolute limit, so to speak. You're not really getting warmed up with this game. You know, sometimes you're just that much better. You don't really need to put your mind to the game too often, and it just kind of trickles in, as is right here. Zaptervow will earn this one. Actually, a pull shot. That's one you don't see often.
I was looking for where the pool shot came from. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, I think Gold Nova actually got bumped just a little bit and made final contact on the ball, and then that's kind of what counted as a pull shot. But, you know, one way or the other, they've got this one pretty solidly in the back. I talked about how it was impressive. Team Fisher put up 10 goals in 2 games. I think it's safe to say they might have been outclassed with 18 goals now, pending the end of this regulation period in 2 games.
Well, now it's just time to get comfortable in the pitch, warm up your passes, because up next right now for Team Zaptervow, probably some of the toughest opponents you will be playing in this bracket, Team Fisher, if they do make it through. And they did make it through. They 2-0'd. Yeah, they did make it through. So Team Fisher is going to be up next against them. Right now, you need to just get all things down, because that is going to be a tougher matchup.
It will be, and they'll reach 10 goals here. A turtle goal for Luap and a hat trick and a playmaker for Zaptervow. We see one on Kevo as well. That's actually his second hat trick for Luap in this game. As we tick the final seconds away, I'm looking at other updates to the bracket. Team Sean also moving on to round 3 on the upper side with a 2-0 over Team Tadab. So, we're going to see how things update over on that side. And we'll most likely get an update here from our broadcaster as well. Huge shout out, Just Staying Alive, working the buttons tonight. Or I guess this afternoon, it's not even tonight. As the final second ticks away here, though. We are looking forward to very exciting stream for Rocket League. And again, we do have some giveaways running. We kind of called them out just before the match started. We'll probably call them out again here after the short break that we take post-match. But Team Zaptervow, you know, we've been talking about this story for a while, but the summary, they dominated, and now they have to play their hearts out.
Yes. Up next for Team Zaptervow, Team Fisher. And that's going to drop Team Sunder down to play Team Dioxide inside the lower bracket round 2. So they're going to have to start fighting through those best of ones to make it all the way back to the lower finals. And then chance at the grand finals if they want to make it through. But quite the showing from Team Zaptervow. I was looking for a team to kind of look to go toe-to-toe with Team Fisher after what I saw in game number 1. And this is a good candidate from what I saw.
I'm looking forward to seeing how they can compete there, but again, it's going to be challenging. They got top 8 now, but they still need a couple of wins. And hey, dropping down to the lower bracket, you know, they had a great showing, but if you do drop down, you cannot afford to screw up anymore. So now that they're in round 3, they'll move down to losers round... Oh my goodness, what am I looking at here? They will move down to losers round 4 if they lose here. And then that will be... 1, 2. All right, hang on. I gotta count again. So this is why I was confused. It's because if they lose here, then I believe they're going to be in top 6. Yes, top 6, because there will be 2 in the winners finals. Yes, and then 4 in losers round 4. There you go. They're top 6. So that means they only need 1 more win, and they're in the money. So regardless of whether or not they win or lose here to Team Fisher, they're still at really good odds.
It's a dangerous game. Math on broadcast is a dangerous game, people. We don't always like to gamble with those, but it is definitely good odds to be looking at here. And folks, we're going to this break. If you want to take a second, check out GMR.Center for everything to get into the know with these GMR and the GMR Center community events. Go head over to GMR.Center where you can sign up now for their beta release on their innovative software development company building gaming tools in Web3. So go check them out, GMR.Center, and see if you can sign up for that beta event. We're going to do a break, and when we come back, the continuation of the bracket. We'll see you in a few. Folks, welcome back to the GMR Center Community Event number 2. We're looking at Rocket League. My name is Seymour, alongside me, Squid. We're already through 2 matches that have been pretty one-sided, Squid. Now we're heading to match 3. We're going to be taking a look at the other side of the bracket. Why don't you fill me in on what we're looking at?
Well, I gotta be honest, we're looking at another storm here. Now, I was kind of keeping track of the bracket, but one team, Seymour, slipped under the radar. It's Team Tito RL. Now, if anybody out there knows what that name means, then you probably don't need me to explain to you why that is a dangerous team to their opponents, consisting now of Ghost and Monster 442, of course, with the captain Tito. This is a full rank A caliber team on this side of the bracket now, and I gotta be honest, Zaptervow and Fisher, they might have looked good, but Team Tito might just take the cake for one of the better teams in the tournament. Team.exe, even with Monster 442 just yesterday, was playing in the Swiss to try to qualify for RLCS main event. That cannot be overstated, how important that is. Or, sorry, I believe they were. I should know because I was actually there, but I'm a very forgetful person, so they might have only made it day 2, but I'm fairly certain that they did make it day 3. At least on some occasions, they have made it to that day 3 of the qualifier, so incredibly deadly team we're looking forward to here. On the other side, though, we do have some high-quality players. I recognize I run into them in queue all the time. One of them is a good friend of mine, actually. I'm going to be working on another broadcast later today. It's Team Sean. So, hi, if you're out there listening to this for whatever reason, hi there, friend. How's it going?
Good. That's why it's a community event. You know, the community just comes together. Everybody knows everybody here. It all comes together in the end. But you're right. I mean, that makes me excited. You know, when you're looking at Team Tito, this is going to be deadly. It is going to make things definitely spicy for the rest of the bracket as we keep on moving on. But here we go into this game number 1 between Team Tito and Team Sean. Let's run away with it as it looks like off the break off, Monster's going to pick things up and blast it downfield.
Oh my goodness, and Monster already. Oh, Lord. That makes it one. Oh my goodness! It looks like I've actually messed up the teams. I didn't even realize I was looking at the wrong player. Seabass is filling in the last spot here on Team Tito. Long time RLCS contender, most notably I believe on Allegiance. So it's just all the more complicated. But Ghost still a reasonably competent player in their own right, alongside Sean and Sil. So nothing going to be set in stone just yet, but here's Monster again with Tito. They're trying to go for something cheesy. They cannot quite find it.
And the cheese is there. Cheese just not finding the back of the net. Open C-Pass puts in the second. And a quick 2-goal lead right now for Team Tito as they find an open net. And that interception was huge. You saw the breakoff was being set up from Team Sean, and nobody expected the interception out of Tito. In front of the net, Seabass just was able to put things home. Now 2 early goals, 30 seconds in. You're looking at Team Sean to answer back.
You are Ghost looking for the pass up to Sean. I love the vision there. They are cut off. Again, it's the experience on the blue side here that is going to make a world of difference. But see if they can keep things in check here. Of course, any competent player, unfortunately, is always going to be under careful watch by the remainder of the community, so it can be actually quite easy to anticipate what your opponents are going to do. Of course, they are at the top level for a reason, so you can expect them to have the hand up. Here's Ghost, maybe even across for a pass over to Sean. Again, the vision is there. They're just too slow on the rotation to make anything happen.
A little bit. Need to be a little bit quicker off that break-off. Ghost intercepts it in the air. And it's Sean to follow up, but in the air now, Monster looking for the backboard. Can't get the second touch. Any follow-up, Tito. A little bit late to the draw once more. Still keeps it alive, though, inside their opponent's end. It's across the field, it's Sean. Looking for the breakout. Another interception from Monster this time. There's just no secondary follow-up there. So staying at 2-0 right now. Still some comfortable presence in the zone. Seabass going to drop it out in front. No follow-up from Tito. Again, it's a little bit off target.
Seems like there's a shocking amount of downtime so far in this particular matchup. And I think that boils down to what we're seeing is Team Sean is actually playing a very passive and patient game in general. Of course, this is going to be a notable exception, but trying to get that force challenge on Monster. They do force him to give it away, and there is Sean for the clearance. This is the perfect example of how to play against these top-level players. You know, you want to wait for them to try to expend, you know, at least one of their options. You know, force them to act in some way or the other. Make it easier for the remainder of your defense to read, but it's going to be a heck of a lot easier to actually read it if you are there on the net. And Tito finds the opening.
Just way downfield. Nice pass. Nice anticipation of where that player is going to be. And honestly, it just boils down to the communication right now. Looking at Tito to lead this team, Team.exe, as they are known as. And now with 3 goals in, still looking for an answer from Team Sean as that passive play, you're right, it is setting them up for some strong attacks, but again, the patience is just not paying off. They're not able to kind of cement themselves into some steady passing plays.
Perhaps it's not paying off, but that also could be a situation of not yet paying off. I still do notice a lot of good moments from Team Sean. I would love to see them continue to push forward with this style of play. A 3-0 lead is by no means insurmountable, and especially against a team of this caliber, you have to take, but you can get Latino again with a monstrous redirect here at the top of the box, makes it 4-0.
A monstrous redirect here again. The second one in a row for them, and just nobody there to save it. Nobody expecting it to reach Tito. And 4 unanswered goals. Live, you're right. Haven't seen any of the patience pay off just yet, but, you know, there's still a lot of Rocket League to be played between these two. Shot on from Sil. Seabass is there for the save. Goes to drop it down. And for the second touch as well. Tito anticipates where it's going to land. Looking to break on off, but no. In fact, Team Sean still keeping control in the neutral zone until Seabass off the backboard. Anybody there to put it home? Tito again is going to find the hat trick and the back of the net.
I think one of the biggest problems that I'm noticing here is, despite the fact that they are waiting patiently for the play, it is causing some massive openings to appear. And again, I love their play style because on paper it works perfectly, but you have to be able to take advantage of the gaps as soon as you see them, because if you do not, then they are going to be there every single time, and they will punish you.
Doing a great job of filling the gaps, Team Tito. Seabass carrying this one through. Intercepted underneath. Excellent play from Monster. Shot a little bit high. Tito's turn. He's going to launch himself up. Looking for the double touch off the backboard. Seconds is going to be Monster, but still a save right on the edge of the net. Keeps it at 5. Now back down the field for the counter play, and he's going to put things in for Team Sean's first goal.
This is certainly going to be a huge morale booster. Hero saves on the goal line come at a premium when you're playing against teams of this caliber. And again, that 1v1 around Tito, you are not going to see that every day. Well, 1:06 to go. There's not really much hope of bringing this one back. But Game 2 is a whole nother beast. As I like to talk about, I said it before, I said it may not have mattered as much in the previous series that we just saw, but it might matter very much here. Game 2, a clean slate, no matter the score.
And you have to be thinking that that one goal, it's a breath of life right now for Team Sean. Maybe pick up the pace, maybe double down away from that patience, and a little bit electric out here as Tito bringing it downfield. Sean, ooh, a little bit dangerous, can't redirect it away, and it is going to end up going into the net. But that first goal, that only goal so far from Team Sean, it's something to look at just to keep that momentum going into Game 2.
And the players having fun with it as well. Monster calling out Sean in the chat, and Sean just responds with the word peak, which, I gotta be honest, you know, if you're gonna hit a nutty redirect, you might as well take credit for it, one way or the other. But Team.exe now, looking like they might be on the edge of a Brazil. I think to nobody's surprise here. Nice save by Ghosty on the goal line. Well, at least keep that at bay for now. Tito tries to keep it in the zone and will be successful in doing so. Seabass unsuccessful in the inheritance, however. We'll push things back to the midfield line. Final 10 seconds. Tito double tap off the top. Monster off the backboard. But there is no follow through here. Seabass is taking the scenic route here. All the way in the back end. Final second will burn away. And Team.exe, or Team Tito in this instance, will take game 1.
All right, Squid, let's talk about it now. The mental reset, the regain for Team Sean. You know, you got the one goal on, still actually getting an excellent one-on-one against Tito to put that away. And yeah, it was kind of 6 goals to 1, but This is where Team Sean now can kind of pull things back. The patience was good. You know, you saw them opening up some opportunities for shots, but they just weren't finding the back of the net. Now, after that one goal, I was seeing some semblance of pressure on Team Tito as Sean were starting to pick up the pace, starting to get things going for themselves. Now, into game number 2, I would like to see them carry that out and continue with that pressure, as I'm expecting to see a different outcome to this game number 2 after that one goal. Things were looking a lot more tight inside those one-on-ones.
I certainly feel like there's going to be a massive resurgence here for Team Sean in some meaningful way. I don't necessarily think it's going to subvert my expectation as to the result of this game, but I hope it'll be a lot closer, and I think it's not impossible that we will see that occur already. Shot number 1 goes to Ghost, and a bomb here on Tito actually almost produces another shot chance there for Sil. Do not find it, though. But as we begin the opening moments of this game, we've already gone longer than game 1 did without a goal being scored. Monster double tap here. Oh, it looked good. Tito for the shot off to the right side. Cannot put in Pater. So they will go scoreless past the first 30 seconds here, although that may change yet again. Seabass this time on the air dribble will find Pater here.
Ever so gentle, ever so careful right now. Seabass just carrying that in. You saw Sil had the right read, but just a little bit further. Seabass carried it to the opposite end of the net. And 30 seconds in, and 34 seconds in to be exact. Goal number 1, Sean to answer back right in front of the net, off the bottom of the cart, can't get the reset. Still for the follow-up, keeps it alive, goes to put the shot off the backboard, look for the double touch, but Cito beats him to it. Excellent pressure on the backboard.
That's the kind of coverage that you have to have. 50-50 in the midfield, though, will keep them in the zone. Ghost trying for the bottom left. The dunk is there, and Ghost will pick up goal number 1. We're tied here with just about a minute gone.
I love the collapse at a Ghost there. Look at this follow-up, intercepts it, floods the net, and collapses. And look at the play from Seabass. A team bump in front of the net. And that is going to open things up now for an even game in 1 minute.
Well, you certainly ask for a bit of a better result on the defensive side, but it's on the pass now, so you're just going to have to move forward with a nice stop there by Sil, by the way, way up high in the sky. Sometimes you just have to make that play in the stratosphere. We'll see another one here. Sean trying for the cross. Ghost didn't have a chance to occur on that ball, but now in the 1v1 here, only one player back. Seabass cannot make the play. It's Ghost putting the team on their back presently.
Ghost has his number there. Look at this. Nice pickup. Flicks it right above Seabass, and Seabass expecting it to go to the top right, not expecting it to be a head-on shot. Reads it wrong, and that is going to be Team Sean now taking the lead into game number 2. Squid, we got ourselves a series.
The question is, can they hold on to this lead? DFH Stadium has been kind to them so far, but Team.exe, I'm sure, are still planning something. Another 1v1 potentially here, but Sean quickly closed down by the secondary player. Seabass now to Monster. What a shot here! Crossbar down and in. Nothing less than I expect.
Not at all. The 1-2 pass, the synergy that we see in Monster, precisely putting a bar down. Crossbar Demon, OG player. .exe back on the board, back to even. 3 minutes and 22 seconds left as these teams throwing haymakers at each other. Off the kickoff. It's going to be Monster winning it back to it. Sil throws it downfield, still ping-ponging it early on. Tito shot on net a little bit high, and no follow-up either. It's going to allow Sil for the breakout. For Sean, beaten out by .exe. Monster's actually going to drop it down a little bit dangerous, but Ghost is able to restabilize.
Oh, and Tito, that was just a little bit dangerous, I think. It's at the very least. They still do have control, though. Look over that top right. Ghost nicely touches it away. That could very well have been a goal. It looks a bit iffy, but still, you cannot risk leaving that upper 90 undefended. And Ghost knew it, no double tap here. Now a long drive downfield. This should prove as a reset for Team.exe. Monster around 1, Tito. Let's take it away, though, and it's a bit of a giveaway now for Team.exe in the blue. Goes to the flip reset here. It's just a little bit off target, but the bump is there. Where's the follow-up? It's Ghost by himself. The hat trick now. Well and truly the carry for this team.
You said he's doing it all? Well, he's doing it all and more. Look at this reset, just boxing Tito wet. Monster can't recover in time now. Back into the lead, Team Sean. And, you know, what may have been patience in game number 1 might have, well, just been nerves shaken off in game number 2. After that first goal, this team has never looked back, and they have never looked better right now in this series. Still trying to find a fourth, but it is going to be shut down immediately by Monster.
Bringing forward some strong rotations. Oh, Seabass. Loads of opportunity was knocking at the door there, but unable to get any mustard on that ball. Perhaps the demolition put up a bit of a smoke screen. Nice style clear from Ghost. Sean in the air early for it. You can see the team chemistry has been incredible between these players, despite the fact that there might be, you know, something of a skill gap between Sean and Ghost, for instance. You don't really see it. Sean able to play up to the opposing players in many ways. Still as well. They have looked phenomenal so far here against an RLCS caliber team. Maintain the lead here, moving into the final 90 seconds of gameplay as well.
Say the X Factor's showing up when you need them the most. Now minute 30. Looking for their fourth. Ghost looking to set up. Monster. Another great coverage on the backboard to carry things over. Looking for the breakout now. Intercepted by Sill. Kept forward by Tito. Still some back and forth from end to end. There's nobody getting some complete control in the other team's zone. It's just a battle, a war of attrition at the moment. Tito, maybe a setup right here. Still, though, keeping it high and keeping it away from the net. Monster's going to put it off the backboard again. The coverage is there, but still, oh no, still misses it, and Tito's going to expose it.
If there was ever a time to miss the ball, now would not be it. 60 seconds to go now, and you just allowed the tying goal. Look, Ghost has produced some miraculous efforts here in Game 2. But now, having lost the lead here, will they be able to reproduce that performance? Surely, they're on the blacklist for Team.exe whenever they're close to the ball. You cannot let Ghost get away with it. And now, it looks like they got a decent possession on the offensive half. Nice dunk here from Monster. He goes to inherit this ball. Tito gets it away from them on target. Sill's forced to clear it back into the midfield. Off the backboard, it looks dangerous. Oh, but Tito double commit with Monster. Maybe getting a little bit too aggressive on that one, and they'll be cleared away.
No communication from Tito on where that ball is going to go. Back down the field. Ghost looking for the counterplay. Was there, was shown, but Monster again for the save. Shot downfield. Sean is there to dump it into the corner. As right now, again, you see Team Tito setting themselves up and putting the pressure on. Keating shot after shot. A barrage right now on the net of Team Sean. It's a good opportunity for a breakout. Pass it for the net. Sean to Sill. Sill on target, but it's a slow one, and Tito is able to recover and get this in. Ghost keeping it alive inside, but it's going to drop, and we get our first overtime of the day.
It was an amazing pass from Sean there in the midfield for the final look of the game. They will have the first offensive here of OT. This one high on the blue side. Sean is there first. Ghost now tracking it down. It looks good here. Team.exe there with the response. Bit of a double demo. Trade in the back end. Still looking for something upfield. Has 2 passing targets. Ghost. The drop down is not there though. Some good ideas, but lackluster execution in the end. We'll return to a bit of a neutral game here. About 30 seconds in OT. A double tap there from Monster, but Tito, oh my goodness, off the crossbar and away. And what contact by Ghost to clear the lines.
And now Sill looking to break things out into the zone. We see some pickup from the squad. No, Seabass is able to dump it back down. 60 boost, Sean. Looking to keep things high. Monster's there to pick it up, looking for the double touch off the backboard. Oh, almost gets a piece of it, but Ghost is able to keep it away. And Sill downfield. Are they able to pick things up? No. Excellent coverage from Tito. Keep it away from the middle, the center of their net. Seabass maybe looking for Monster there. Sill to intercept it. Keeps it on target, but a slow shot indeed. Tito able to get a quick and easy save.
They can't yet clear the back end. Of course, as I say that, Seabass, great air dribble here. Forces that challenge out of Sill, and now you can see there's some difficulties here for the orange side. Sean on completely no boost here. No potential for a follow-up. Tito, however, does have plenty. Off the ceiling, it looks difficult, but there's nobody there for that shot. It was a difficult one at best, though, so I will give them some slack. The pressure's mounting over and over here as they continue to throw this ball back into the attacking half time after time for Team.exe.
Folks just tuning in. Oh, I say that. Seabass almost gets it off the shoulder, but folks, just tuning in. If Team Sean score, we go to a game 3. If Team Tito scores, yeah, it's going to be the series done and dusted. So this overtime, a lot of underlying factors on it. Sill's going to set things up in front of the net, but again, it's Tito for the kill here.
Oh, what a dunk there from Monster as well. Tito, though, no contact. That could be huge, but Seabass is there to close it down as the third man. If that one had gotten into a passing lane, that could easily have been the game right there. Tito, speaking of which, he's open at the top of the box. Is shut down by Sill one way or the other. So it looks a little bit dicey. Sill with contact into Sean. Now Ghost with a great look here. The double tap, no, denied by Tito. The read was there and only moments away from the feed now on either side. Sill this time coming in clutch for the defense of the orange team. This overtime is getting a little bit much for my taste.
Might be a little bit.
Players, they're just having their fill.
Oh, yes, they are. Might be a little bit scrappy on Team Sean's side, but still working wonders in the net. The same with Tito on the opposite end, keeping their team in this. Ghost now his turn to set something up. No, Monster keeping it away from the box. Even over, that's an open net. Oh, Monster's going to put it through, and that's going to be Team Tito moving on.
Oh my goodness, what happened here? There was a challenge by Sill, Ghost, and Sean just nowhere to be found. Man, there was one way for the game to end. That is not it, but the game does have to end at some point, and I guess now is as good a time as any. But on that note, on that somber note, I should add, Team Tito will now be into the winner's final, which guarantees them a top 3 placement. So they are in the money, Seymour.
And you have to be feeling good after that. You have to be feeling absolutely ecstatic on that. You're guaranteed at least $600 off of that soul game. You know, things got a little bit shaky. You know, I said it, you know, where we were kind of highlighting patience in game 1 for Team Sean, it looked a lot more like they were just needing to shake off the nerves going into game 2. As soon as they got that first goal on the board, it seemed like things were up to pace for their squad. And into that second game, they looked great. Even going to the first overtime of the day, I think it was 3 minutes in before we saw that first goal come through. That was just fantastic. Rocket League in the GMR Center community event.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more to be said on that front, but, you know, you mentioned how the gap closure was very necessary for Team Sean, and I feel like you mentioned how it was just shaking off the nerves. I feel like that much is very true. They saw the gaps they needed to close, which didn't really get closed in game 1, right? I said they were playing patient. You know, they were playing patient, and that was my caveat. And they basically eliminated that caveat, and it was an amazing performance. Now, down in the lower bracket, you know, I wish them the best of luck. They are just one game away from making it into that top 4, and I honestly feel like they're going to have a lot of luck on their side, one way or the other. They were feeling very confident in that. I have almost no doubt that they should have a reasonable chance of making it into the money.
We are going to be waiting to see how that goes, though, folks, as we are looking at winners finals coming up next as these other teams are fighting through the lower bracket. We're going to cut to a break, take a little bit, take things easy now and setting things up for our next one. So stay tuned. You're watching the GMR Center community event. My name's Seymour. This is Squid. We'll see you in a bit. number 2, where we're looking at Rocket League into the winners finals up next. And it has been quite a series, which we have seen. The teams have been looking great today, Squid, and this next one might be the best one we've seen all night.
Yep, that's what I kind of commented in the interim, that this might be like the match to watch, in all honesty. We may very well see this one rematch at the grand final. I think this is a pretty high possibility, but whoever wins here will have a guaranteed second place finish. That is, what, if I'm getting this right, $900? So that's already a massive improvement. I mean, both these teams have at least third place secured, but if you play second, that's $100 each for every player on their team extra on top of what they already have. So quite a sizable sum of money.
Honestly, I wouldn't be too down for another $100 on top of all that. I'm sure these players feel the exact same way. So there's a lot on the line right now for both of them. But you are right, you know, as this is a double elimination bracket, whoever loses here, they still have a chance to honestly show up once more for a little bit of a grudge match in the grand finals. As folks just tuning in, double elimination bracket, we are in the best of 3s right now, but we're in the winners final. Winner of this goes to the grand final. Loser of this goes down to the lower bracket, where they are playing best of 1s up until that grand final, which is going to be a best of 5. The prizing breakdown is $3,000, and as we already hinted, the winner of this is going to be guaranteed $900. But the winner of the grand final, that's what everybody's looking for, $1.2K, $1,200. Squid, it's going to be a great one, and honestly, that's where everybody should be looking to right now, because top 4 is good. You know, getting $300 in 4th place is good, but you want the big sum of money. You want that 1.2K.
Of course, nobody is ever satisfied, you know, with getting to basically the camp right before the peak of Mount Everest, right? And then just saying like, you know what, I'm gonna go home. yeah, I'm calling it quits now. Who cares? But no, I mean, in all reality, and you mentioned how the lower bracket finals actually are best of 3 as well. So regardless of if they fall now, they still have just a little bit more of insurance. You know, it's not a lot, but they've been playing with that kind of stake pretty much the entire bracket long. I mean, it still is even a best of 3 here in the winner final. So next round, you know, they'll have that best of 5 unless they lose, in which case it's another best of 3 and they're on their last legs. But they have both shown immense power so far in this bracket. It's Team Fisher and it's Team Tito, also known as Team.exe. They're ready to get underway here. Utopia Coliseum. We're taking a little bit of an adventure over into presumably some sort of Roman part of the world. I don't really know. You know, is this kind of like Roman to you, or is this like Greek?
It seems
maybe?
Like a Colosseum.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I'm down to call it a Roman Colosseum right now. It looks like it. You know, you look around, the nice little tapestry, you know, everything, the plants. Just it gives you that vibe. But you know, right now the vibe are 2 of the best teams you we're probably going to be seeing in the bracket going head to head in a best of 3s. You're looking at Team Tito in the blue and Team Fisher in the orange.
Would not have it any other way here. The winner of this one earns an additional $100 per player on top of the prize they have already gained. We have already noted some particular players to look out for. Alpha being number 1 for me, as they shoot on target there unsuccessfully, I might add. But still, the first 40 seconds seem to have actually gone the way of Team Fisher. I will reiterate that Team.exe did compete in the Swiss for the Day 3 qualifier in the RLCS. Team Fisher didn't quite make it there, but they are quite the adept team in their own right.
And this is a good chance to prove and showcase that they have the chance to push that top 3 next time, or Day 3 next time, against a team like this. Alpha looking to set things up in front of the net, drops it down, nobody to finish. Seabass clears it to the corner for a moment. Fisher's looking to get something going, but right now Team Tito doing a great job at boxing this squad away from the net. Can't get a follow-up. Alpha, can you recover it? Does set something up. Fisher's looking like he's going to drive it home, but again, it's Seabass in net to keep it away.
Well, we also saw Rule 1 there in the corner, but Joshua Squasher got popped a little bit over top of the opposing player, so it was not meant to be, it seems. You can see, though, the continued pressure here from Team Fisher. This one almost pitches right into the net. Seabass forced to field it out into the corner where there's nobody available. The demolition in the back here, and Alpha only has to clean up here. Again, was the star striker for Team Fisher previously, but now opening the scoring book.
We highlighted it earlier. I mean, there's the physical teams, there's the strategic teams, and there's the mechanical teams. And sometimes all you need is to take a player off of the field to get that open net. We see it right there. Big opening from Joshua Squasher. Demos the net. And it's going to be a finisher to put them on the board. First opening goal goes the way of Team Fisher. 3 minutes onto the board as they're looking to find a second.
Solid 50-50 there by Seabass, forcing it into the corner. With 3 minutes left here, I've got just a little bit concerned here. Team.exe hasn't had almost any success until now, that is to say. I was going to say they didn't have any success pushing out, but they score here.
Look at the setup from Tito as well. 50-50 off the roof. And Seabass is just going to put this one through. And Tito using his body again just to keep Fisher away from the ball. It's perfect physical play to bring this one back to an even 1-1 under 3 minutes. Tito looking at a second open net for a moment. Josher gets there in time, pinches it off the crossbar, and it's going to be a breakout.
Ooh, nice play here up to Josh Squasher. Alpha is waiting for it, but realizes that they're beat to that ball. You gotta love the respect these players give to each other pretty much at all times. This is basically mandatory at the top level of play. You can't afford to be disrespectful to your opponents in the neutral game, otherwise you will most likely get punished. Nice control here by Fisher. No boost left in the tank, though, to do anything impactful with it. We'll fall back down to the side here. Looks like things are starting to slow down just a little bit on either side of the ball. Of course, no contact here from Seabass complicates things, but Tito is right there for the cleanup.
Into the air, the drop down from Fisher. Another demo from Joshua is going to leave the pitch open a little bit off the wall. No follow-up. Monster's able to pick it up and recover downfield. Tito, a little bit off target, but great pressure once more. Seabass drops it down to Monster. 1-2 shot on net. Nobody's there. What a play. The 1-2 punch is going to be successful.
Just a little bit too fast for the defense here as well. You can see Fisher recognizes it a moment too late. If he had just gotten a little bit higher on that ball, they would have made the play, but unfortunately there was just enough of a gap there for Monster to snipe it. And it's that speed, that pace of play. If the recognition came in just a moment earlier, then it would have been saved away. They would have stopped it at the point of contact, but they lose on that instance. They're going to have to score one more if they want a chance in this game.
It's 2 goals in a row now for Team Tito as they've come alive since that opening. From Team Fisher in front of the net. Fisher does get a piece of it. Joshua for the breakout. And going to be stopped in the neutral, intercepted from Seabass. Well, that was a good opportunity for Joshua to maybe redirect it, but on the exit, it's going to be Alpha to put it up top and find the back of the net.
I gotta be honest, I don't really care what caliber of team you are. You're gonna have difficulty dealing with that 50-50, just so perfect on the Alpha. So then CMS was almost still there for all intents and purposes. It looked like he had it under control, but still, the ball somehow breaks across the goal line parallel, and we're tied up yet again here. Especially with an early demo here. This looks like a good opportunity. Monster backflips, but Alpha up much too soon for that one to score. I do respect the fast play on that one. They needed to be there quick if they want to challenge, and now no touch from Fisher makes it a 3-2 game.
We talked about Scylla in the last series, how that one small hiccup can be exploited. Well, Fisher this time just barely missing a piece of it. Just the smallest misread on the play, and it's a free opening goal for the likes of Team Tito. Now taking their lead back to 1 minute, 10 seconds left to find the back one. Fisher might be able to solo that right off the kickoff. Alpha puts in front of the net. No follow-up, no seconds at all, as Joshua's not there to exploit.
There's a bit of a triple commit there on the back line as well, but you can see they were not expecting that. We're Team Fisher. Can't blame them. Again, it's not often that you see top-level teams like this have those kinds of issues. What a pass from Tito, though. Nobody in the zone. And Monster will secure now a 2-goal lead with 46 left.
I don't really see where something went wrong. Oh, right there, Tito barely beating Alpha to the ball. As a lot of trust was on Alpha there from Team Fisher, and just missing out on it. Another open shot for Monster to put them up by 2 now. 46 seconds. These teams have kind of been in a dead zone a lot when it does come down to the meat of things. Haven't really been able to convert into 2 quick goals. Is Alpha looking for the third? Yeah, he's going to find it off an excellent pass from Fisher, and another demo to open things up for the squad to put away a goal. 36 seconds away from tying us up as Alpha is bringing them back by 1.
There's simply almost no way that ball goes in without Tito being taken off of the field. Would certainly have been there for the close post rotation. And there is loads of time here for Team Fisher to regain this tying goal. Less than 30 seconds now. Josh the Squasher has to touch this one to the corner. It looks a little bit rough here for Team Fisher. Seabass, wise play here with the double. Triple tap even. Tito cannot turn it away, though. And now, there might be an opportunity for Team Fisher yet. That was a prime opportunity. to get insurance here this late in the game would certainly have been a dagger. High up in the corner, nice win here by Fisher. There was a little bit of a bump as well. Monster cannot win the challenge completely. I don't think they need to. There's simply not enough boost or positioning here on the side of Team Fisher, and Team Tito will take it here in game 1.
He's almost fighting a fifth there. Fisher and Alpa in net had to stay completely still. If they moved a muscle, they moved an inch, would have been an own goal. Yeah, you're right. I mean, what a game to start this out between Tito and Team Fisher. It was neck and neck through it, everything, but it was when they just found that opening, when they were starting to pick apart that defense and really beat Team Fisher to the ball. You started to see a little bit of hiccups in the play. Fisher, you have to be thinking, if he didn't miss that shot, or if he didn't miss that ball off the backboard, what would we have gotten inside that game? But, I mean, what we got was a 1-goal lead, and quite the series between both of these. Now looking to the Forbidden Temple in our match number 2 here for the series, as you're looking at Team Fisher to push it to a game 3.
Yeah, I certainly hope that they do. I'm sure that they are not very satisfied with the outcome of that game, but there were a lot of high notes for them, and I believe that we're going to see at least a bit of replication here in game 2. Team.exe, Team Tito, they are only 1 game away now from taking that 2nd place prize, and of course having the chance for that 1st place prize. It all starts here on the Forbidden Temple, as you mentioned. Goal number 1 could have huge implications for either team, depending on which way it goes.
Yeah. Right now, dominating the air, our Team Tito. Finally, Fisher's going to strike back, send it downfield. Tito to recover. Going to get it around. Alpa beats him to it. It is going to be a 50-50 off of Tito. No follow-up there. Fisher's going to put off the backboard. Excellent coverage from Monster to keep it deep into the corner. Can't beat out Joshua, though. Still some good pressure from each team. He's not able to find control in the zone. Finally, Seabass might be able to get something going, but no, Fisher's going to pick it up there. Nice drop down from Monster off Phelps' car. Oh, Joshua just barely getting to it.
You can see the presence of mind there from Alpha as well. It's so easy to panic in that situation and just try and dive at the ball, try to do something to get it out. But they knew that Joshua was there. They knew they could trust their teammate. And they just let that clear happen. Well played there on the back end. Might have been complicated. They're able to navigate the crisis. A return to the attacking end, at least temporarily. Joshua Squasher will have to field it into the backfield here. The presence of mind from Team Fisher cannot be understated in that critical moment.
Fisher throws it up. Monster still playing that goalie role for the team, as he has been a pillar for that net. Seabass for the break. Leaves the boost. Alpa for the one-on-one inside. Fisher finds a demo, but even still, Tito slips the line, finds the opening. The pass from Seabass is able to get Tito to get in the back of the net on lock.
The recognition here from Tito as well. Playing so close to that challenge, and they could safely, because that challenge was closely guided into the corner by Seabass. They knew that they could be there, so Monster was the initial attacker, and it seemed that Team Fisher thought they were in the clear after demoing the 2nd man in the rotation, obviously, but the problem being that EXE is smarter than that. Alpa, oh, what the flip reset? Nothing happened! He just let it go? Was this planned?
Well, it looks like Seabass was expecting the flip reset, but instead Alpa breaks his ankles, just slides under the ball, and the ball under Seabass. I don't want to say that was 200 IQ, but it looks like it was 200 IQ.
Certainly seemed like it. I mean, there's no way you can really read that with much certainty if you're Seabass, because you know Alpa's going to use the flip reset, but you don't anticipate that nothing is going to happen out of it. I thought that was going to pop up. Seabass did too. They get punished for it.
Yes, they do. Still in the zone. Good pressure here from Joshua. Alpa, a little bit of a bump is going to set him off pace. Into the corner. Tito looking for the breakout. Calls for some help, and yeah, Seabass throw it into the corner. Nice pickup from Monster now to just push that advantage even farther. Seabass cuts it, but Fisher, nice read to intercept.
Off shot, though. Easily saved away. Mostly a possession game now for Team Fisher. They do not have that pass out into the mid. I don't believe anybody was set for it either way. Still a bit unfortunate for them to not make that contact. Consistency can be a very important part of the game. We saw in the last match, Fisher being unable to make it clear up the backboard was important, and now here a completely open net skied over the crossbar. Oh boy, I'm not going to let you live that one down. They could have taken the lead right there just before the 2-minute mark. But an open net gone by the wayside.
Yeah, you need to scratch that away from it. Just focus up forward. Oh, monster! Look at this shot. Fisher thinks he escaped it, but Monster slips through. And he is the monster in the closet right now. Fisher just barely putting it on target. Fisher has to just throw himself at it and instead redirects it right into the net.
Oh my. The one spot you never expected to go is inside, next to the back wall. You never expect that as a defender when you're in that position, but sometimes it bites you. It was no different. Just over 100 seconds now to go here in game 2. Team Fisher needs a response. They're looking for one right here. Fisher unable to do anything with that one. And I'm looking back on it, I bet you Fisher is as well. They had the open net chance, they didn't put it away, and then they're on the goal line, they couldn't keep it together, and now they have to do it again here against Seabass. Fortunately, it was a favorable situation, but it still probably weighs heavily on their mind. I wonder if they can reset from this easily, and now Tito, I love the delayed flick. Seabass with everything to shoot at. Fisher can't make it back, and it's 3-1 now.
Look at the way that they pick them apart. Tito just barely getting the front end of the car on that second flip, forces Alpha to take the shot, and then Seabass to send it home. Fisher a little bit late on the rotation to get back into that net. Now, a 2-goal lead with a minute 15 on the board. You have to be thinking that with the game, how back and forth this has been, this 2-goal gap might be their lead to the grand finals.
I have no reason to suspect it won't be as of right now. They've been playing a very fundamentally sound game so far. The only goal against has been a bit of a cheesy one from Alpha. Back in front here. Alpha, what a save! But there's nobody left. And Munster will firmly plant that one in the top right corner as if it even mattered.
It's the way that they're making this happen. The way that you see that Team Fisher has to just throw themselves on defense to stop these shots. And there's always that third player there for Team Tito just to follow up. Just comfortably take that shot on an open net, as they have been working so well together now to push them to a 3-goal lead, looking for a 5th maybe on the board. But the biggest gap we've seen between both of these teams in game 2 so far. Fisher trying to work things downfield to get some momentum back into their end before the game ends. Ball's going to stop in the neutral, and they look scattered on top of each other right now. Pass from Tito to Seabass, front of the net. 30-second marker is going to be up, and this is the home stretch right now for Team.exe.
They don't seem to be faltering anytime soon. Team Fisher, on the other hand, they are desperate to start anything up at this point. I don't think it's really going to make a world of difference here. Team.exe should safely waltz right into the grand finals without dropping a single game in the upper bracket. Team Fisher, not to say that they're out of it just yet, but moving down to the lower side is certainly going to be a bit of a blemish on their record, as 2-0 against is not really the result I'm sure they were hoping for.
I can assure you that that was definitely looking to be a lot more closer between both of these squads. I'm sure Team Fisher, they had such an opportunity there, and you have to think back to game 1, Squid. You have to be thinking about that one shot off the sidewall that Fisher just barely missed. Could have been an even game to go to overtime, and that might have just been the heartbreaker that pushed it over the edge. .exe into game number 2. Team Tito were just picking them apart on the defensive ends, and they were doing a great job of just working together. You can see that the experience that this team has together and the levels that they push to are just bringing them to the feat that we do see.
Yeah, that's not to say that they're without competition, though. Clearly, Fisher's team has a little bit of work to do, but they have some amazing moments when they're out there on the field, and getting that consistency up just a little bit would prove a massive boon for them, certainly. Maybe some demo plays. We noticed that they were quite impactful early on in that series, but we didn't really see much more of them after that, so perhaps some changes in the stars for them, but we won't know until we see them the next time. They're going to have to wait for a couple of matches now. It looks like we are currently, I'm looking up my bracket, we're currently in losers round 4, excuse me, which is still being decided. A couple of teams in there that we've seen before. Team Sean, Team Dioxide, Saptor Val, and Mr. Balmy. So 3 of those 4 teams we have already seen on the stream, but they're kind of duking it out right now down there, or we might even be going to go spectate them. I don't know what exactly is in store, but we might be able to catch one before they start.
We might be able to, indeed, like you say before. Team Tito guaranteed top 2 now, as Team Fisher in that top 3 spot has to wait now for these teams in the lower bracket, folks. You are watching the Festival of Gaming, and if you yourself want to take part in this, and sign up at gmr.center to keep updated with all the Festival of Gaming news, because over the minimum of 6 months, there's plenty of prizes. Over $300,000 in pricing to be taking home for these community events. So go check out gmr.center to sign up for your Festival of Gaming news. We're going to head to a break. When we come back, we're going to cover the lower bracket. See you there. Welcome back to the GMR Center Community Event number 2. We've got Rocket League all day for your pleasure. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Squid, and we're here to bring you through the rest of the bracket. Now, Squid, we have our top 3 decided. Right now, working through the bracket, we're trying to figure out who's going to get top 4. We got plenty of teams to go through, but let's talk about who we have up next.
Well, you mentioned the top 3 is decided. Well, we still have space for one on that note. So anybody in these top, or I guess, well, the top 6 that are remaining could still make it into that top 3. 2 of them are confirmed, and then, of course, Team Sean, Team Dioxide, Team Sceptervow, and Team Twitch.tv/Mr. Balmy are all still in the tournament. And we have seen everybody except for Team Dioxide, who is remaining in the bracket. But I've got good news for everybody, because guess what? Team Dioxide is playing off in this stream match against Team Sean. The bad news, it's a best of 1. This is sudden death here.
That's the hard part. That is the part that we've been highlighting. It's a mental game that comes from Rocket League, is having that little bit of a comfort zone, you know, finding out the way your teammate or your opponent plays in that game 1, bounce back in game 2 with the reset. We don't get that. Like you said, sudden death. This is where you need to pull out all the stops and make your way into that top 4. Because, folks, if you don't know already, as we've hinted now plenty of times, the prizing $3,000 is broken up into top 4. So the top 3 is guaranteed, but now we're trying to figure out who's going to be in that match for that $300 prizing of 4th place. So we are going to be figuring that one out. Team Sean versus Team Dioxide up next. And in the meantime, why don't you go check out GMR Center's Twitter, because we have giveaways as well for you guys to sign up and maybe walk away with a $12,000 PC. That would be great. That would be awesome. Or even a $100 Amazon gift card, even better. Maybe even both. You don't know how lucky you're going to get. So let's hop into this game number 1 between Team Dioxide and Team Sean.
Absolutely. I feel like I should make just one clarification. It is a $1,200 PC, not $12,000.
Oh, $1,200.
That would be pretty hype, though. I've got to be honest. Like, I don't know what that would look like, but either way, we are here. And oh my goodness! Oh, baby! What a start here! Sean leads the team into battle with a pass over to Silhouette for goal number 1.
You know, we got to see Team Sean against Team Tito right now, the team that's in the grand finals, and they looked good in their second game. They looked dangerous in that. So right now, the question mark on our minds are Team Dioxide. Are they going to be going up against them in a manner like that? And I think I actually saw Batmobile as well, bringing us back a little bit. That's going to be exciting, but at Dioxide, they plow their way, they flood the net, and they collapse for an even game.
That they do, Silhouette. I mean, you're looking at this, and it doesn't look so threatening until your car gets absolutely tossed into the back of your own net, and you can no longer defend the play. So I guess if ever there was a time to get physical, now would be the time. Again, this is the only map that will be played in this series, and this determines whether or not you get a cut of the prize pool. So it is time to get on it. Step on the gas, lead foot, put a brick on the gas pedal. I'm going to stop now. But in any case, we're still less than a minute gone. There is no telling how this one's going to turn out, but goes. Pretty good look at the net here. Cannot get past 2 defenders, though. We'll send it to the corner.
And here we do now. Hop up to Ninjari. Centers it out. Dioxide to third, but not going to find the connection that they wanted to. Things slowing down after an even game, but still looking to flood the net here for the collapse. Sean follows it up. Can he get it in front? No. Second touch. A little bit on the weaker side. Going to keep it in the corner and allow for redirect here. Back at it. Ghost looking for the back of the net, but instead, it's going to be sent high.
Decent defense here. Oh, mistouch there, and Sean almost able to punish on that one. You got to watch out for Ghost here if you are Team Dioxide. We saw the kind of damage that he can do all on his lonesome in the previous series there against Team Tito. And we have yet to see any of that so far here. Now just over 90 seconds gone. Kind of stalling out here at the midfield line, but it's over to Ghost from Silhouette, and that is precisely what I was advising they look out for. It's 2-1.
Who was it on our minds when we were looking at Tito versus Team Sean? It was Ghost, the backbone of this team, making it all happen. And now again, gonna drive them forward back into a lead with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left. Excellent pass to open things up as well. Left side of the net was completely wide open for that shot. Now Ghost again from up top, trying to beat out Zarzamol. Does exactly that, but Dioxide to follow in suit. Can't bring it back downfield. Dioxide is going to lose out on that. And even the demo for Ghost might get a little bit dangerous. Ninjury trying to keep his team alive. And that was a great breakout from Ninjury to allow for the team to recover.
See, with a little bit of a loss of possession there that caused them to get pushed back. So a decent reset. Certainly not a bad idea to put on target, but I would prefer to see a little bit more sustained pressure personally. Try to keep it close if you don't have a passing target at the very least, and force the opponents to come to you. Make a neutral 50-50. See if you can get things to die out at the midfield line. If not, hold on to possession. So perhaps just a little bit of a note for the future. They've got loads of time after all. Nice pass over here to Zarzmal, but it will be cut out by Ghost. Now looking downfield, maybe even for a double tap. Does not quite find the contact that they need though. They will stay on offense, however.
Zarzmal keeps it neutral, trying to look to push things out as Ninjury. Instead, Dioxide playing for the 50-50. Ghost beats him to it. Still a little bit of ping pong through the neutral end. 2 minutes on the board here. Looking to set up for an attack, but Sean's going to intercept it, bring it back down the field. It's an injury to push things forward. It's constant pressure from Team Sean for the breakout. Sean might have had a chance there, but on target from Ghost and Zarzmal, pretty easy save.
Seems pretty trivial at this point in time for the blue defense to get to work. Sean, oh, what a dunk here. It's completely open. Dioxide has to be there, and they will in time. Key rotation is able to fake out Silhouette. Constant pressure here for everybody on the field, well and truly. A nice bump attempt, but that one will go by the wayside. Ghost trying to snipe the net. Dioxide is ready for it. What is going on here? The pace of play is just taking off like a rocket at this point. And there is no better time. 75 seconds to go and still a 1-goal lead here for Team Sean.
Sill has possession for a moment. Even expecting that, so waiting for the touch to come through. Zarzmal is actually going to beat Sean up into the air, setting things up the side wall. Can't get the double touch. Sill, what a placement for coverage to keep it wide away from the danger zone of the box. Still some good pressure here. And possession from Dioxide, centers it out. And again, Ghost, right place, right time. Started to clear, started to break out. Is that on target? It is! Ninjury barely scrapping that away from the shot.
Up here, Silhouette. Oh, what a read by Dioxide. Zarzmal right on top of it. Able to keep it neutral. Great speed on the defense there for Team Dioxide. Well, they need to keep the pressure moving through the midfield. Again, they lose possession, and now they're in a tough spot. Ghost, oh my goodness! Still gets it through somehow. Just pinball on the post there, but they will score.
Look at the collapse. Zarzmal puts it down, and Ghost follows up. He misses 100% of the shots you don't take there, and Ghost makes sure he's going to finish the job and bring him up to 2. Biggest lead we've seen so far in game number 1, and that might be the catalyst to their shot into the semifinals for the lower bracket. 17 seconds left, and it might be mathematically impossible for Team Dioxide to get this comeback. Looking for a 3-goal lead, looking for number 4. Ghost collapsing on the net, but it doesn't seem like Team Dioxide want anything to do with that. Silhouette looking to set up, but no, 1 second left, and this ball looking to touch down on that ground. It's going to be Team Sean to move to the lower semifinals.
And they finally get in the money here. But that's not the end of the story. In fact, I think we're going to make this a little bit of a lightning round now, as I'm noticing Team Mr. Balmy move forward over top of Team Saptorval, the team that we saw first on the stream here today. They lost in round 1, but they are back with a vengeance. They made it into the money now, into that top 4. And I'm curious, does Team Sean take it against Team Mr. Balmy? That is the real question here that I've got to ask myself.
Well, from what we've seen with Team Balmy, is like the big question that we were setting up in the early game was they need to fight through the gauntlet, and they need to show some good improvement if they want to play against these teams at the level that we've been seeing. So yeah, it's going to be a big question mark. Have they found that improvement? Have they, maybe shaken off some early day nerves to make their way this far and really improve their play? But it's definitely going to be a tough match to go against because, like you said, we are into the money works now. Top 4 is guaranteed. 4 teams left to fight through this $3,000 placement. And folks who are just tuning in, this is the GMR Community Center, or GMR Center Community Event number 2. If you want to go check out the giveaways, giving up a $1,200 PC and an Amazon gift card, go check out GMR Center on Twitter and sign up. Who doesn't like giveaways?
I mean, I guess people who hate fun, people who hate getting free stuff.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I'm honestly at a loss for words as far as that goes. But yeah, of course, some major giveaways happening there. And we should also note that this is just part of the Festival of Gaming, which is a gamer. It's an event that Gamer is hosting that's kind of taking a bit of the long road over the course of a minimum of 6 months and a total prize pool of $300,000.
Yes.
We didn't get that one wrong. We may have misspoken earlier, but not that time. You heard it right. 300,000. That's a 3 followed by 5 zeros. I'm not a numbers guy, but that's a lot of zeros. All right,
that's
all
of zeros.
That's all I'm saying.
I like that many zeros. You know,
It's
a lot of people are gonna like that many zeros. Go check it out. Why not? It's fun. Everybody's here to have some fun. And right now, the Rocket League that we've been seeing has been a class of its own. Now, Team Sean versus Team Mr. Bommy. Talk to me a little bit about this matchup, because we've seen both of them. But Team Sean, in my eyes, they have looked like the better team.
No, they have. I mean, this is honestly going to come down to whether or not Team Sean can come out in the moment, I feel. And again, there's been a massive story here for Team Mr. Bomby. They dropped in round 1, and then they had to win 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds consecutively to get here. That's 4 best of ones in a row. To see their path end here would be heartbreaking, but they did make it into the money, so, you know, I can only say so much about how much that would really hurt my heart. But then again, you know, it's against Team Sean here, which if I had to go with a personal power ranking, it would be basically in the order that we've seen it, right? It's Team Tito, you know, Team.exe, if you know them by that name better, Team Fisher, Team Sean, Team Mr. Bomby, because they've made it this far for the most part. And, well, we haven't really seen too much else in the way of significant competition for these guys. So now getting the players into the lobby, we're over here on USC servers. Again, I think for the remainder of the tournament, we're going to be playing it out there. The teams are ready to go. Again, this is a best of 1. Team Sean just took one fairly easily, but so did Team Mr. Bomby, so there's really no telling how this is going to go.
You see the GLHF in chat. A couple hearts. This is all going to be fun here for the community event. We're heading into game number 1. Silhouette to start things off. Phantom for the collapse. Open net. The follow-up's going to be there, and Sean answers first 8 seconds in.
Oh my goodness, this is not a good start here. Urban Central, the locale. And a nice flip reset there from Silhouette, surely, but you can't afford to send 2 defenders for that if you're not going to make it happen.
Just a little bit of an update, Squid.
Oh,
this
really?
is a best of 3.
I thought it was a best of 1. Well,
I did too. You know what? Now that we're in the money, it makes sense. You know, you don't want to see that heartbreak, like you said, from all the way through the lower gauntlet to the money and lose out in 1 game here. Sean answers first, looking for a second, and he is going to put that in. What a shot off the sidewall.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is certainly a great start if you're Team Sean. And the Doomsy Dish. Seeing the opportunity for a Doomsy Dish is quite rare. Making it actually happen even more so. Sean is able to take advantage of that particular instance and, well, and truly make it happen in more ways than just one. 30 seconds gone here. A 2-goal lead's got to be feeling pretty good. A nice save from Silhouette as well in the follow here.
Indeed that, but open net downfield to 2v0, and Ghost is going to sail it in. 4 minutes and 19 seconds. Already a 3-goal lead. This is some dominance out of Team Sean and Team Mr. Bomby. Squid, we need to see some semblance of control in this soon, because this is getting a little bit out of hand for them. Sean have come out of the gates on fire.
I don't think there's any other way to say it, really. There needs to be some sort of a change here for Team Mr. Bomby. They need to catch up. They are able to do so here, but I can't help but wonder how much of that is by the merit of Ghost not obtaining a flip reset on that touch there. We'll move out into the attacking half, but again, a neutral ball. It's Silhouette backing off, wisely played here onto the back end. Obtaining control of the ball. Not able to get that flip reset there. Phantom, no patience on that one, and will pay dividends. They can't take any sort of advantage of that one. They get the control, but they can't finally get that shot on target. Here might be a chance, and they will. Mr. Balmy passing over to Mystical Bear.
That's a big opener now. Sometimes the hardest goal is the first goal, as we saw earlier with Team Sean versus Team Tito. And now that Mystical Bear's found the back of the net, this might be their resurgence into the game. 3-1, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Plenty of Rocket League, Squid. And now to pick up the pace here, Phantom finds the demo. Ghost is going to have to dedicate himself to that shot on net. Sean's there for the save. The follow-up from Phantom, and he is going to miss it, sadly.
Still, the idea is there, though, and they had the presence, which is tangible as far as the mental game goes, being able to keep your morale up, although Ghost, good control there. Will be touched down to the side by Mr. Balmy. That's still a scary situation to find yourselves in. Hopefully they have something response. Phantom. Not able to do anything with that. It's just going to be an open net all the way downfield. I didn't see that first. I was out looking somewhere else with my free cam, but that just finds its way into the back of the net.
A little bit of a hiccup, allowing Mystical Bear to find the back of the net, but right back into smooth formation. What a shot downfield. And again, just missing the rotations. Mr. Bommy's team having trouble on the back foot. Here, Ghost in the air. Sean put off the backboard. Sills up. Is he going to find it? Gets a touch. So slow on down, but he's able to recover, and he's going to get the job done.
I think this speaks volumes about the defense as well. I mean, it was a nice and high touch there by Sean, but somebody's got to be prepared to respond to this. It's just too much of a scramble here on the back end. And it surprises me, to be honest, to see the confidence and the presence of mind on the offense from Team Mr. Balmy in comparison and contrast to the defense, which has seemed very panicked at the best of times.
Mr. Bear out to the side. He'll follow up Sean. Cover things in the neutral. Goes in front of the net. Silhouette looking to put it home. Great defense from Phantom, but here's Sean now from the top ropes. Can't find the net. Still some good defense. Gonna be here as Ghost in front of the net again, trying to keep this alive for Team Sean. And up the wall. There's going to be another aerial shot here, but again, good defense from Mr. Balmy to keep it away from the box. Ghost is going to drop it down, and this is some very dangerous game that Team Mr. Balmy are playing.
And it is. But at least it's nice to know that they're getting something done here on the back line. As I noted just a little bit ago, it seemed like they were having some significant difficulties, I suppose is the kind way to say it. But we've gotten at least a little bit sorted out. Of course, not nearly enough to stem the tide, I fear. Or at least not in time to stem the tide. Still coming off the side. Well, you guys a good look at it, and they will clear it away. But what they lacked in defense, they made up for in offense, at least limitedly. The only problem is we have not seen enough of them on the offensive side. They got 5 shots on target, and converting one of them. It's not the greatest conversion rate, but it's certainly workable as long as you keep the ball out. The unfortunate part, of course, they haven't been able to really do that. And I think if they can change that up, honestly, we're looking at a whole different game here. Final 60 seconds down the clock. This might be a done deal for game 1, but there's still more on the horizon.
You saw a glimpse of it, but now the talk into game number 2 needs to be expanding in the process. So you see the chances there. Mystical Bear is actually going to find a second, as all 3 players from Team Sean are going to dedicate themselves on the overcommit into the opposing end. Leaves it open for the clear and the counterplay to be smooth into the opposite end. So Mystical Bear is going to put 2 up on the board, but still looking game 1 to be in control of Team Sean, as they still control a 3-goal lead.
Absolutely. Still more than implausible. Although Mr. Brown looking for a double tap here. Love the idea. Not sure if the angle was there, but Ghost wasn't about to wait and find out. But certainly still some tangible improvements from Team Mr. Balmy. So Urban Central actually hanging on. Here's goal number 3 now for Mr. Balmy himself. I am starting to ask questions here, Seymour. If this is going to be as much of a blowout as we were expecting in game 1.
I'm just trying to look back at this. I mean, it looks like just a little bit of overcommitting from the side, but I mean, looks like the teams are just having a good time, having a lot of fun in the chat. You can see them just messing around with each other, chatting amongst, seeing if they can get to that OT. Goes from post field to field. He's going to find a little bit of help from Silhouette, and this is a carry downfield. That Ghost almost single-handedly put it through.
And Mystical Bear in the chat as well, making a rather a rather acute observation. This isn't OT.
No.
Sean says he's still working on it, part of the process. Hey, I respect that. Everybody has something to learn in Rocket League. I guess Ghost just needs to learn how to lose games. Because they don't seem to be very good at it. So far.
I mean, it's like, it's trust the process. You just got to trust, It might not be overtime this time, but maybe next time,
Next time.
You found 3 goals in the game. That's not too bad. I mean, Mr. Gobert catching Team Sean on some pretty hefty rotations, forced some 2 pretty open nets. The first one was actually pretty solid. The collapse we saw at a Team Mr. Bomby to tie us up 1-1 was some good control in the early, but then Team Sean kind of woke up. It was like waking up the beast at that point, and they carried away with a 6-3 victory at the end there. You saw Ghost putting that last one in, carrying it from one end of the field to the other. And now heading into game 2, Team Bomby, you have to look at that first goal that you got and really expand on that, because that was probably the best opportunity I saw for them and the best play I saw for them to find that goal. So you need to see more of that into game 2.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you on that point, but I touched on it earlier, and I really feel like that the biggest problem they have is the fact that they just get pressed onto defense so often and for so long, for seemingly like minutes at a time. They'll be back on their own end of the field, and it'll be incredibly challenging for them to break out. I feel like they need to try to close the gap in the neutral game. The only problem with that is we frequently see Ghost and Syl going for some flip resets, which make it incredibly challenging to make an effective challenge on the ball, strange as that may sound. But, it's those kinds of mechanical plays, that kind of close control that they maintain, that makes it very, almost impossible to make impactful plays on the ball when they're keeping it that close. So now Salty Shores is underway for Game 2 of this Losers Semi-Final. And Team Sean is only 1 away from making it to that 3rd place guarantee.
Let's take a nice moonlit drive on the beach right now. The nightlife is actually booming. Lots of spectators in the crowd. Mystical Bear barely getting a piece of that away from the net. Pass to the middle. Nobody there to receive that pass. Ghost is going to find the demo on a Phantom, but Tommy trying to work the field out. Looking to reset this for the team. In front of the net we go. Sean for the shot, trying to put it under Phantom, but again, a little piece of it's going to keep it away from the net.
40 seconds gone. Oh, that demo's certainly not going to help. Mystical Bear. Oh, you can tell I've been watching a lot of pro level of Rocket League lately. Mystical Bear will at least be in the back for that. They're able to rotate forward rather confidently with that play, and you can see now a little bit more space on the offense. Mr. Balmy there for the dunk against Sean, but they're not able to hold on to control very impactfully here. Still looking for the flip reset. This is precisely the kind of control I was talking about, was becoming problematic for the back line of Team Mr. Balmy. And you can see the results here. A little bit of butterfly effect allowed Sean just to push it into the end. And Ghost almost able to close it out right there. Still probably bearing down on this one. Slight bump in the box. Getting a little bit slow, a little bit calculated with the play. And I love that kind of possession. But now the one-on-one, Balmy and Sean is one popped way up high. And Phantom feels backflip, man. They can't get control. But now the flick over the top. Ghost is still there. The forced challenge was there from Silhouette. A good effort, but a moot point in the end.
Sean, oh, he almost bullying his way on in. But it is Phantom once more on the goal. Keep it away. Downfield, see some setup going. All 3 players going to be forward. Ghost, though, made the heads-up play to rotate because they were caught on that rotation constantly back in game number 1. But here, look for the backboard, can't get the touch off. It is going to be the exit from Bomby. Back into the side of Team Sean. We stay goalless. 3 minutes on the clock. I think this is the longest we've gone without a goal.
It may very well be, but I gotta be honest, I'm not terribly surprised. There was one big thing that I needed to see improvement on the orange side, and we have seen that improvement. It was just, shore up on the defense. I would love to see them improve their neutral game. Surely, that was one of the points that I mentioned, but that was the first and foremost, and almost even get a freebie right there, but let's not let that one happen so easily. Pass over to Silhouette this time, and that one will snake through. They almost stopped it, they did, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Perfectly on the halfway mark of the game is the turning point right now for Team Sean. You look at that 1-2 pass once more, a little bit quick for Team Bobby to keep up pace with, and it is going to find the back of the net. Syl now, looking for the one-on-one, putting it right on target. Goes for the follow-up, off of Syl for the redirect. Look at the synergy.
was a great synergy, but I can't help but feel that there might have been a little bit of panic here on the back end. I think Phantom had just a little bit more time than they expected, and they tried to make that play a moment too early. You know, the world may never know. We're going to have to put that one into Ripcore and figure it out another time. But, oh my goodness. Ghost caught typing there for a second, so forced to make a save here. I guess the players, you know, they're getting friendly in the chat, but I gotta be honest, setting down the controller to put something in there might be a little bit too friendly for my taste.
Yeah, you saw Mr. Bomby in chat. No game 3 for content? Oh. You know they want that game 3, but Team Sean, they want that 3rd place right now. And you see they are collapsing this net. A barrage of shots still up into the air. It is downfield. Now we do see this ball go. Phantom open net. Sean recovers. It's barely in time for the save. Still Bomby keeping it up. There with the shot, but Sean is throwing himself at this. Just denying shot after shot.
They are, oh, good 50-50 there from Phantom, but there's no follow-up for it. Ghost, oh, the double tap here from Ghost is not on target. Wonderful idea, but now it might be an overcommit downfield if they had somebody available. Team Bomby certainly could have scored that. Unfortunately now their possessor off the field. Mystical Bear can't get this one back under control. They're trying to wrangle this one at the mid. And Sean, the light pass over to Ghost, looking for the bump too. It seems like just BM at this point. They won't score though. There still is time. 2-goal lead. It's not safe, it is. 60 seconds to go now, especially. Nice high touch here from Mr. Bomby. This could turn into something.
Could have. Missed the follow-up though. Ghost looking to expand on this lead right now. 2 goals, looking for 3. 48 seconds left as we are under the 60-second mark. Silhouette from the roof. Can't get the second touch comfortably in front of the box. Ghost in the corner. Loses out on the duel as well. Look at this breakout here. 35 seconds to make something happen if you're Team Bomby. 35 seconds to get this comeback to push at game number 3. And this control, this possession that we keep seeing from Team Sean, just denying them of this progress. To make it happen, open net from Bomby. He's going to thread the needle. Ghost for the miss, and they're going to put themselves on the board.
You mentioned it, Ghost coming across here, not able to make contact. 20 seconds, loads of time in Rocket League. And Ghost, that might be a little bit of a trivial error, especially considering he had loads of boost in the tank as I switch over to his camera. But there's still a little potential for OT on the horizon. Sean, though, does not want that. Can't get the double tap. Ghost on target. Bit of a double commit now on the back end. Still will be saved away. That's the important part at present. Venom High Pop, they are wrangling this ball. They need this control right now. Final second burns away. 0 time left on the clock. It pinches downfield. This could be playable. 2 players upfield on the side of Team Sean. To the middle. The shot now. It's just wide. Phantom can't put it on target. And that'll be the end of their run. Team Sean will take it. But oh my goodness, what a finish.
That was the opportunity for overtime. Just barely off target. Barely off target. You had it. You had the chance for game 3, for an overtime to get you to a game 3, and you missed the shot. That is a feels bad man right there. Heartbreaking indeed. Yes. They make the run to 4th place all the way through the losers bracket. They win 4 games in a row to get to where they are now, but they meet the end of the road when Team Sean steps in front of them. And that's going to mean our top 3 are decided right now. Just where these teams going to lay. Coming up next is going to be Team Sean against Team Fisher, and that is going to be a tough matchup.
That it will, but still $300 here for the losers in this match. Team Mr. Bomby, thank you for playing. It was a lot of fun watching them. You know, we only ever saw them lose. We only ever saw them lose 2-0 at that. But I feel like they didn't really get the performance on stream that they were looking for based on the people that they had to play against.
Oh, no, 100%. Like, we got to see them go up against probably the best teams that we have today. I mean, earlier we saw them play against who? Team Fisher?
Yep.
In the start, and then playing against Team Sean there, a team who probably can go toe-to-toe with Team Fisher. They're going to have to go toe-to-toe with Team Fisher in the upcoming best of 3. So it's not easy Rocket League on stream for them to play, but they did get some success through the lower bracket. They walk away with some money, and at the end of the day, I mean, they're walking away with $300 more than a lot of the other teams that are in the community event. So that's a big dub, if you could say so.
Absolutely it is, but we are going to take a short intermission here. But before we do, I do want to remind everybody that we got a couple of giveaways running, all right? So make sure to check the links out that we have going around. And there's a giveaway for $1,200 PC. Again, high-quality stuff. You don't want to miss out on that. And then on the Twitter for GMR Center, they have a $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. That's right. Yeah, $100 Amazon gift card. Yes. All right, I got that one right. I got the info over here, but I like trying to memorize. But we are going to take an intermission. Once again, it's Team Sean versus Team Fisher in the lower finals coming up next. You won't want to miss it.
Folks, welcome back to the GMR Center Community Event number 2. We're here with the lower finals between the top 3 teams. My name's Seymour. This is Squid. We're here to bring you through it. But Squid, let's talk about these teams so far because they have had quite the journey to make it to where they are now.
That they have, and they have gotten all the way here just to roast me in the in-game chat. I was not pleased with that. We were talking with them, and somehow everybody just unanimously banded together and decided that I suck or something along those lines. I don't know what the heck the deal is, but all right, let's get down to brass tacks. We're here on Wasteland. That's punishment for the players. We're waiting to get underway with the lobby, but Team Fisher.
You don't like Wasteland?
No. I personally like basically any map, but players don't like Wasteland, and if the players don't like Wasteland, then they can suck it because honestly, like they've just been so mean to me. All right, it's hard. It is hard being a commentator. All right?
It's hard out here. It is hard out here, but like we say, top 3 is guaranteed now. This match rate is going to be an upgrade once more for these teams for that grand final spot, a chance at the title, and a chance for guaranteed $900. The loser is going to walk away with $600 out of this. Let's hop into game 1, like you said. Right into the Wastelands, on board with Elba.
Oh my goodness, and I can't wait to see how this one turns out here. Team Sean and Team Fisher underway here, and you'll notice that there's a bit of an odd name on the field here. Once Sil, now Silsher. So I guess Fisher's protege now playing against Fisher on the other team. So I'm very curious to see how exactly that pans out. But I think the players to look out for here, Alpha and Ghost, have been the story for pretty much the whole night on either side of this ball.
Sometimes, if you want to be the best, you got to mimic the best, in turn. This might just be them trying to, take into their own, be that protege like you're saying. And
I don't know. I don't necessarily know if you're picking the right player to mimic if you want to be the best.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw a ratio on that, and then let me know how that works.
Just be careful that the players don't +1 you again.
That's fine. I've already lost once. Double jeopardy. They can't get me for the same thing twice.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Yeah, the action seems to have kind of stalled out here in the midfield. It's not often that you see a completely neutral game, but that appears to be the case here. This one off the ceiling, nice and easily met there by Alpha. And Silsher, way up high.
On the entrance, Ghost comes flying downfield, intercepted, keeping the warpath going right now for Team Sean. Back on the defense, Sean's gonna get that a demo. We've seen this, the physical play coming into boost now for this. Fisher can't get the shot off comfortably, a big bump to get him away and deter that shot. He's gonna keep this scoreless now, heading into 3 minutes.
I will, but it seems like you mentioned this. Not like 20 minutes ago, you were talking about how, oh wow, we're at the 3-minute mark with no goals scored. Imagine that. That's the longest we've been without scoring. And now, here we are, par for the course, it feels. At this point. Oh, bit of a double point there on the side. That does not look good. Joshua Squasher to lead the way with the follow-up. No, it's just off the post. Oh, and double team pitch! Where did this come from? Ghost gets credit with the assist from Silver for number 1. What?
Call it a touchdown. That's a Hail Mary. Look at that. Fisher had no chance to get there at all. And the collapse is going to be good. 0.1 for Sean. At an incredible pinch to send it and snipe it.
Wow. Well, I've already used the phrase, but it's not every day that you see team pinches like that. I wonder if that will resurface. Rear, it's not so ugly yet. I rather enjoy seeing those, but it's past halftime now, and having a lead is certainly going to have a good effect on the other team. Oh, wow. Ow. Ouch. Okay, that's...
That's twice
yeah, no.
now.
Just a moment of silence there. Oh no!
Oh.
Joshua! He saw the opening. Fisher for the double tap here. They'll finally put it away. But oh boy.
They can't get a goal unless it's a fancy goal. Look at the angle here from Fisher, finally putting it through. As it would be nice. I mean, that's what, 3 chances. Well, 4 chances, 1 went in, but 3 chances that were missed opportunities for Team Fisher.
Evening it's up now. 2 minutes on the clock. Fisher setting up on the backboard. Double touch. Josh is going to be there. A little bit too fast, though. Misses the shot.
Going to have the read on that one, although I thought Fisher for a second there was just going to absolutely peak on the opponents. Was not meant to be. Perhaps just needs to go into the backboard therapy pack a little bit. Alpha might actually get a gift here. Joshua Squasher denied by the defense. Fisher can't quite turn that one in, nor can he go for a follow-up, so they're going to have to defer now to Ghost possession. Excellent 50-50 as well, and it looks like Team Sean might even have a chance to take the lead. No, they'll be turned away here. Fisher flip reset, looking for the pass to the mid. It's a little bit far-fetched. They'll be turned out.
And the exit, Ghost keeping it forward. Sill's there. Joshua trying to get there, but again, a little bit too quick to the draw. And on the rotation, it's late. Joshua just barely missing. Look at how close that was. Constant heartbreak here for Team Fisher in game 1.
It taking the boost bubble back instead of going for that pill in the corner, then perhaps it's a different story. If Fisher hadn't immediately given that one away, perhaps it's a different story, but I believe the communication was there for Joshua to be back in time for that one, and it was just a bit of a misunderstanding on that play. Joshua, though, looking for something. I thought he was going to go for a shot there, but he just opts to stay down. Have to play it out of the corner now. Sean, massive clear here, has a connection with Ghost. There's no contact, though. This might provide an opening. Alpha looking for Fisher. The connection is made, but Silsher is there for the denial. The namesake preventing each other from making plays here.
And you like to see that Fisher starting to get some synergy going here in game 1 towards the end. Only a 1-goal difference, so they just need one chance to push it to what could be an overtime. Fisher taking it downfield. Sean looks like he's going to be there first. A touch from Fisher, still the win. Out of Team Sean, open field. Joshua puts it through. We're going Tide. Finds the back of the net.
Double commit here on the defense, though. The last thing you want to see, Ghost and Silsher both up for that one, and there's not a chance. Now you're going to be able to stop that one a second time. 15 seconds to go. No leader in game 1 here on Wasteland. Who will be eroded away by the sands of time? I haven't an idea here. Silsher off the sidewall looking for the flick. Has it to the backboard. Alpha with no contact. Fisher neither. But there's nobody there immediately. The pass is cut off here. Still time on the clock, and it's still in the air. Alpha out in the corner. Tries, but no dice. Excellent shutdown there for Team Sean, and we're in overtime.
Yes, we are. Fisher wins the draw. Ghost keeps it in the corner. Sean, you got to get back here. Set up for your team on the defense early, not a place you want to be, but it's exactly where Fisher now can push this first game into their hands, up into it, double commit out of Team Sean. The net is wide open, and Fisher again from the left field is going to find the angle, and he's going to take away that game 1 win.
Another double commit in the corner. I can only help but wonder what was happening there for the defensive rotation, but it will be a critical error that causes them to lose game 1. And Team Fisher, oh my goodness, Ghost in the chat. Yeah, this server is good. We're ready. Oh boy, I'm afraid to say it might not be a test server. But no, funny man.
Just trying to figure things out. You know, it's lower finals. You want to make sure everything is good. But no, what a game out of those two teams. I think early on there was 3 opportunities where Team Fisher could have found the back of the net and some clutch saves out of Team Sean to keep it in the lead for them. So it's a game number 2. I think Team Sean fighting from the back foot now. It is a best of 3, folks, to make it to the grand finals. So now they're going to have to win back-to-back games to make it to the grand finals, to get that rematch against Team Tito and see if they can walk away with the title. But Team Fisher now in the advantage for the lower finals.
Oh my goodness, I really wish people could see the chat right now. Man, we really pushed that joke to the brink. But yes, you're absolutely right. Team Sean at this point in time, they are on the verge of defeat. Team Fisher, you know, they're gonna have a little bit of that bloodlust vision at this point, and they want to close it out here and now. I can only help but wonder what they're going to bring to the table to try and annihilate this team, Sean, at this point. The players are just out there having an amazing time. I'm having an amazing time. This is why we run these community events in the first place. Now Fisher calling for a best of 2. You know, will give it to him just because no such thing exists. But Alpha already in the air. The double tap. Oh no, denied by Silstra on the back line. What a play. What a position there for the defense. What a way to deny the first goal of the game.
And even still, what a save out of team Sean to get that away from their net. Now looking for the breakout. Alpha shuts it down for the net. Fisher trying to work some magic. Work some attack here, but Sean for the breakout. Finds Ghost, the redirect for the net. Josh is there for the save. Easy save indeed. It is going to be Alpha to Fisher once more to work things downfield. Playing for the double touch, but it's all a ruse. Alpha comes out from underneath, puts the shot on target, and luckily, Sean, we're aware of that.
Ooh, nice shot there. Will be easily saved away, however. Silstra well set for it, and Sean now connecting with Ghost. Lots of open space, but not quite enough. We'll get out onto the attack now. Sean, good idea with this ball, but Fisher closes the gap early. There was no secondary contact in a meaningful way. We'll get driven back here. First minute now come and gone. Still no goals scored, but some rather good looks at the net, at least for Team Fisher. Team Sean, not to say that they haven't had any, but not quite nearly as good, in my opinion.
Well, we went about 2.5 minutes in game one without a goal. And here these teams looking to feel themselves out in game two. Team Sean looking to push us to a game number 3 here, but they have quite the competition to make it over. Do so. Ghost is getting the bump from Alpha, able to touch it up. Fisher for the follow-ups. It's going to provide Sil on the back end to save that. Pull apart this defense slowly. Fisher from side to side, post to post. Trying to set something up, which is we haven't seen the possession. Work it, goes, shot on net. Fisher for the save. Now Alpha working it downfield once more.
Nice attempt there off the ceiling, but unfortunately, not really many options. Oh, that's a huge beat. Ghost over to Sean and past the last defender. And it'll give their team the lead here. Just past 3 minutes left to go.
Sometimes you just gotta be faster, Squid. Sometimes you just need to be quicker to it. And yeah, Fisher, I mean, they were on the rotation. They had the right chance, but small little edge over that. They drop down to Sean. Excellent play. Put them up by 1 now. 2 minutes 48 on the clock. It's a little bit dangerous for Josh. A little bit mixy, in fact, in front of the net. Alpha working it on out. Sil is going to hold this one through. Sean looking to work another attack on the net, but redirected by Fisher into the aerial zone. Alpha pushing it out. Can they find the breakout? It seems like they're struggling to get this breakout going. Still, nice read on that. He's going to keep this attack going.
Oh, well, that might put a damper on things. Ghost now taking another rotation. Nice slow play on that 50-50 by Alpha. They got it downfield. Joshua Squasher first to that ball. We return now to a bit of a neutral game. Fisher, of course, loads of space and time to work with here as Alpha. They're trying for that pinch. They could not find it. Perhaps searching for a replication of what we saw between Ghost and Sil in the last match. That was not meant to be, though. Already being shoved back onto the back foot here. An aggregate now 8 shots in favor of Team Sean, 7 for Team Fisher. A bit of a change in the pace of the game. The possession has clearly shifted in their favor in a major way. They almost get another shot there. Sean for the follow-up will be denied by Fisher, but it's still a massive win on the contest way in the stratosphere.
Scuffle in front of the net. Josh, the demo! Oh, it's open, but you see Sean on the recovery. Able to reset that back to the corner. Nice dump from Ghost. Can he follow it up in front of the net? One-on-one. Joshua breaks it out. Fisher for the carry, but it is going to be sent to the wall. Joshua working it up. Can he play for the double touch? Sil beats him to it. Center field. Ghost again working it downfield. One-on-one. 2v1 actually. Joshua somehow beats it to him, and that's going to be an easy save.
An easy save, but still the pressure is always on. Can't get anything too free. Oh, what a play here! The dunk! Joshua Squasher and Fisher combine to put this one through. High-flying play. It didn't look like it was going to succeed at first, but when you have the power of 2 players, you don't really need to eat that many Wheaties.
No, you don't. You don't need to eat that many.
No, sir.
What a play, though. It evens us up with a minute left in this. Dire for Team Sean to get their lead back. But exactly where you want to be for Team Fisher, just drawing out the clock as well. Your late game has been very well versed. throughout this bracket. Again, putting some pressure up here. Fisher, good communication. Josh are going to be taking this one. Looking to set this up. Fisher for the double touch. No, it's not going to be sent to the center. Ghost is going to neglect that. Send it downfield. 30 seconds left. Still shot on net. Josher sends it high. Nobody home.
Nice control as well. So go right back down to Alpha. Remember, one goal here for Team Fisher could send Team Sean out of the competition at this point. Versus the other one would give them an extra life. A breath of vitality here. Nice clear for Sill. Forces Fisher to stay at least a little bit out of control of that ball. Alpha way up high. Has a decent touch on this one, but Sill firmly planted on the backboard. No double tap, though. It's still there. No touch from Sean. Josher! No! Denied by Ghost! Oh, my goodness! What a way to go to OT here in Game 2. The lower finals continue.
Early demo from Sill. Still dangerous. Ghost right across the crossbar. Up in the air, 50-50. Actually, one from Josher is going to stray away from that. Big bump from Josher for the net. Leaves it defenseless for a moment. Still goes to pick things up. Juggling it downfield. The dribble. The pinch. Oh, the flip. Actually, no, it's going to be right on target. But Josher getting in net with a save. Dangerous ball in front. Is going to be a double commit, but Fisher still carrying it on board. Goes for the intercept in front of the net once more, but nobody there from Team Sean to get that shot going. Like you said, the pressure is going to be huge for this team, but they have to be aware that this counterplay has been the thorn in their side.
They're well and truly playing for possession right now, just trying to close the vice grip at this point. Every long clear that you're seeing, like that connection between Alpha and Josher, there was Sill ready for the play. Even sends it a little bit on target here, forcing some defenders to go for this. They won't be able to gain an intimate control of this, but they're still throwing shots on target. They might be really... Oh no! What?
Oh!
That bait of the mid comes out of nowhere, and Alpha will send their team to the grand finals.
And say goodbye to Team Sean. Top third, not too shabby, but in the end, it's Team Fisher who want that rematch against Team Tito. And they're going to get that in a pretty hefty fashion as well. Pretty flashy play at the end there. I said, sometimes you just need to beat them to the ball. And Alpha, fast to the draw, beats him to it, gets the shot on net and an open shot as well. 2-1, game number 2. It's a 2-0 series. Them now to be in the top 2, guaranteeing themselves $900, Squid.
To say that caught me off guard would be an understatement. I mean, Sean was right there. All they had to do was jump a moment before that contact was made. And that's the easiest 50-50 you've ever made in your life. Oh, yeah. But the vision just wasn't there. And that's the way it goes. That's Rocket League. I mean, I don't know what more you want me to say about it. That's if you don't touch the ball, then generally your opponents are going to score, and they didn't have anybody back because it wasn't expected, right? They finally broke past the midfield, did Team Fisher, and as soon as they did, it was a goal against. That's just, it's Rocket League.
It's the way it works sometimes, just the way the cookie crumbles. So that's going to mean top 2 are going to be Team Fisher and Team Tito. Third place, Team Sean, walking away with $600. Fourth place, Team Bommy. Folks, if you haven't yet already, go check out the GMR Center Twitter. We're giving away a $1,200 PC and a $100 gift card to Amazon. Go sign up for that because giveaways are awesome. Giveaways are hype. But right now, we're going to be heading to a break. And when we come back, it's going to be the grand finals, a best of 5 between Team Fisher and Team Tito. You don't want to miss it.
Folks, welcome back. It is time. We are down to 2 last teams. We got Team Fisher and Team Tito. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Squid. And Squid, we're into the grand finals. Talk to me a little bit.
Oh boy. Well, you see, mitochondria is the power. Oh, sorry, you meant about Rocket League. Excuse me. Just give me a second. All right, Rocket League mode. All right, so Team Fisher, right? They just won against Team Sean, 2-0. But Fisher is actively the worst play. Wait, no, sorry. That's Twitter stuff.
Are you
Fisher
reading?
has been looking pretty good so far today, I'd have to say. And of course, I mean that to say that their whole team has been looking pretty solid. All right, serious talk now, though. They have been looking pretty solid all around. They had some consistency issues when they met them in the upper final. But other than that, it hasn't really been too much to write home about on the defensive side. You know, they have made the plays where they need to in general. And on the offense, you know, they have had some pretty creative moments. Nothing particularly out of the ordinary or extraordinary, for that matter. But they've gotten the job done, right? So I feel like coming here now against Team.exe, they have to watch out basically just for the creative plays that they can bring to the table when it comes to mechanics on the offensive zone. But if they can turn that away, then they should stand a pretty decent chance of matching rotational speed and being able to hold on to the offense.
I got a little bit scared for a second because you were reading off our green room notes, and we weren't supposed to disclose that stuff. You know that the whole Fisher not being the best in the game. We gotta watch out for what we're saying there. But
No. Actively the worst.
Actively.
Yes, actively the worst in the game. Yeah. Of course, that is patently a lie. I just like to say crap. I just like to talk crap about Fisher. It's a lot of fun, you know.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
But no, we are into the grand finals, and things are definitely looking pretty close for these two teams. Yeah, well, I mean, it is a rematch, like you say, and this rematch is definitely going to be one where Team Fisher are looking to bring things back, everybody, as we said. But there's a last chance for you guys to go sign up for the giveaways. $1,200 PC and a $100 gift card. Go check out GMR Center on Twitter. You want to sign up for that and maybe walk away with some goodies at the end of this stream. And these teams playing for a total prize of that one first place spot, $1,200. Now, that doesn't mean second place doesn't walk away with anything. It's $900. You got to think that $300 upgrade, something that these teams are going to be looking at. I mean, an extra $100 in the pockets of each player, not too shabby.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just reading the in-game chat, and they're really getting me. There was a proposal. There's a proposal in the chat. Joshua Squasher said he asked if they could take a game, right? So there will be a game advantage for Team Tito or Team.exe because they are the upper finalists. However, Joshua counter-proposed that if they win a coin toss 4 times in a row, that they also get a game advantage. 4 times. Yes, 4 times in succession. Either way, that was vehemently denied by the admin team, aka us. And we are underway with Game 2. Remember the game advantage for Team Tito, although it looks like that may be a moot point if Fisher keeps on like this.
Yeah, looking to neutralize that immediately. What a start of the year. 10 seconds in, Fisher slips the line, finds the opening, and finds the back of the net. First goal on the board, but wouldn't it be nice to see a coin toss to negate that? That would be pretty fun. You know, the RNG that would have to be in your favor to win 4 coin tosses in a row.
Oh, absolutely. And then I would like to also point out that as soon as we denied the request for 4 coin tosses in a row equals a win, Joshua immediately then proposed a second time, this time 5 coin tosses. And then Fisher proposed a best of 3 in rock, paper, scissors. You know, the creativity never ends from these guys. I love it. If only they were half as creative with their offense, they might actually do something. In any case, hang on. Whoa. Ouch. Sorry. I guess that's a little bit, you know, I can't really say that considering that they are currently leading anyhow, but I saved there by elbow.
Brilliant as well. Monster looking for the answer back. Intercepted by Fisher midair. Tito, open net. We go back to a 1-1 even game.
That we do, and it's the defense that I was asking about. Again, the consistency here, they just did not have the rotation. And I want to say, I'm looking at the formation they were in, and I'm feeling to myself like they should have had somebody back. So I was looking around to see if there was a bump. I don't think I saw anything physical, though.
I think it was another misplay by Fisher on the side wall. Just barely missing the touch on the ball. It bounces out for Tito to exploit yet again. Another misplay from Team Fisher. Ties us up 1-1. 3 minutes 46 on that. Tito for the demo. You got to be careful of your Josher. You got to not let that pass. It is going to be a reset on the board. Players back from the Shadow Realm. Oh, got a little bit scary, but Josher barely clipped it.
And you need to be able to defend that high spot on the net. Well played there for Josher, per usual here on the back end. You expect players of this caliber to be able to make those saves with regularity. All right, that was just one of those instances. However, Team Tito now, oh, this looks like it could be dangerous. There was a potential for a bump there, I believe, against Tito in the midfield. Could have produced an open net opportunity. They weren't quite there for it. Seabass actually. Demolition here on Fisher. Things could get a little bit complicated, especially with that spawn, and Tito will find the angle. Fisher off the worst spawn ever. Can you believe this?
Look at this. Tito said straight up, don't care, didn't ask, nobody's in front of me. Like, I don't know how he got that. Like, I think that was Josher, who was just on the wall, and it completely negates the player, just zooms right past him, and can't even see at all. Alpa, we're gonna answer this things back with 2 quick goals out of Team Tito, making 3 quick goals, and Seabass slips it right under the line.
Things are falling apart here on the defensive side. Josher and Fisher both back, and the double commit. It's almost like synchronized dance, except for they're just giving up goals instead of acquiring, you know, medals and things in contest. I mean, if that was their goal, then congratulations, you conceded. But I don't think that's what they're looking for presently. However, Team Tito will gladly take it. A 3-1 lead here in Game 2, I might remind everybody, as they do have a game advantage, is looking fairly solid. Our full best-of-5 reverse sweep is never easy, especially with these long odds. Tito just flies right by that one.
And started off good, but ever since Tito found that first goal and the second one, it has been absolutely to the other side, off the backboard. A little bit of a touch from Seabass to keep it wide from the follow-up. Josher looking to keep these 50-50s in their end, but it is going to pop up right to Alpa. Back downfield to Team Tito's half. Moss is going to pick this up on the sidewall. Josher, 60 boost. Can you get anything going here? Can't beat out Seabass to the draw. He'll be back to the neutral end as nobody has got solid possession.
This does seem like it might be an improvement, however, for Team Fisher, especially this touch from Tito. It's a bit questionable. Seabass is there for the 50-50, though. Will shut down any hopes and dreams of putting that one on target, but again, playing this neutral game is honestly a little bit of a downgrade for Team.exe. I would hope that they can try to return to a bit more of an aggressive stance. Letting off the gas certainly is not my first choice of strategy when it comes to taking a lead like this. Just under 90 seconds to go now. Alba, good lead downfield. Has Fisher as a lead blocker. They're not able to find any sort of a physical play. Back pass attempt here. Go a little bit awry. They'll lose out on the control.
Fisher cuts it, tees it up for Tito. Shot on target, but slow. To the pole. Front of the net. Fisher, shot wide. Monster for the save. Back downfield we go. Monster looking to spearhead this attack. Instead, Alpa is going to cut it. Tito keeping it alive with the backboard. Nobody home to put it through. Seabass once again on the defense. Pops it right back downfield. Under 60 seconds to play. You need 2 goals still if you're Team Fisher.
But there was a double commit there on the defense for a moment. That's the demo. This could cause an opening. Seabass skies that one way up high. Tito still the first one to the ball, though. You need to see some more urgency from Team Fisher. They do manage to save there. Nice contact by Alba as well to drive this one towards the midfield line. They cannot contest Tito, though. And now, a complete loss of control. They're going to have to reset into the neutral here. Nicely played for Fisher. No additional context, though. It just completely kills any sort of momentum that they had. Seabass looking for the double tap. Will put it on target. The save is made. But at this point, it does not matter what they do. They've got to get this one downfield. They're unable to do so. The final couple of seconds have need only. And Team Tito will take game 1 here. Game 2! Game 2! Game 2! Game 2. That's what I said.
Yes, yeah.
That's what I said. Yes.
In a technicality, because Team Tito, they start off with the advantage coming from the winner's bracket. So that's going to mean Team Fisher now, as you alluded earlier, they have to reverse sweep a best of 5 to make this happen. Well, You got the first goal underway and the only goal as well from Fisher. It was a strong start from Team Fisher, but it just wasn't the end that they wanted. As soon as Tito found the opening, they just kept on throwing it away, and it was like the slow dagger into the rib cage at the end that just kept on keeping Fisher away from this net. It was doing a good job at countering Fisher's attacks and constantly Seabass on the defensive, Monster on the defensive, always getting those wide, long bomb clears to keep Team Fisher on the defense.
Yeah, and I think once we saw a return to the neutral game kind of form, Team Fisher, they looked a heck of a lot better, in my personal opinion, but, you know, it was those early goals that really defined the game there. I mean, Team.exe, as soon as they got that control of the game, it felt like they were content to just kind of sit at the midfield, play a deep third man, and let Team Fisher come to them. Not necessarily a bad play style. It does leave some openings, and it worked out that time, but they do have to be careful that they don't allow any sort of undue concessions.
Well, game number 3 here into the grand finals. Tito up 2-0 right now on match point. Walk away with the title and the grand prize. Looking at Team Fisher for the comeback as we are here in the Starbase to make it happen. Fisher up high. Start this up. Not happening. Seabass on the attack. Pops it high. Goes for the cut. Excellent beat. And the physical play as well from Monster. Plows the net and opens up for a goal.
I mean, if you're looking at this here, if you're Joshua Squasher, you know that Monster has the potential to take a hard shot, so you have to stick around just in case, but also Seabass is potentially there to toss it up to the right side. What are you going to do? You just need backup in that situation, and they didn't have any, so, well, that just makes goal number 1. Well and truly, you just have to hope you pick the right option, and unfortunately, guesswork is not a particularly keen mechanic that players are going to be using. But it still is only in the first moments of the game, so not impossible run back here. Bit of a double mid in the corner. Seabass also makes his presence known. Alpha will touch that one out to the side.
Clear, long clear from Josher. The follow-up here hits the corner. Centers it out as well. A demo and a bump onto the defenders, but Monster doing a great job and allows his team to get some control back. Tito, a demo on the other end, starting their attack out. Big clear from Josh to keep it high. Again, allow for this reset. Tito, another demo. Things here are getting physical in the drop down, almost a goal, but Fisher gets back in the recovery.
I think that was a team bull shot as well to put that much power on the ball. Now Josh, oh, I love that idea, but Seabass is there off the ceiling to close it down, pinch towards the middle. Alpha is there for it. Excellent read on that ball. They're struggling to find any sort of meaningful connection to get this one out of the defensive half. Our Team Fisher, and now again the drop down play. There are 2 players that are ready for it, but you have to make some contact in some way. Fortunately, Alpha was there to bail him out. It's still not an amazing look there on the defensive side, but noted seemingly countless times now.
Still haven't seen some creative attacks out of Team Fisher. Pretty straightforward, easy to deal with if you're Seabass on the defense. Joshua again clear from the backboard. Tito picks it up. Alpha's up for possession. Fisher the follow-up. Off the backboard, double touch, not going to be there. Drop down really fast, not expecting it. It's going to be Fisher. The pick up, Josher on his car. Goes for the corner boost now, setting up for another clear long bomb down. Tito ready for it, reads it in the interception. The drop right to Alpha, set up again into the air, but no follow-up here from Team Fisher. It's just going to be another clear downfield.
Fisher not able to read that play properly. I mean, they had a huge win with that read. Alpha in the middle, receiving from Tito. And speaking of, Fisher actually receives here. Monster is just able to get back to it. Things looking a little bit complicated there on the back line for Team.exe for just a second. I love the punish game that Team Fisher are going for right now. Speaking of, Tito almost was able to grab that dunk right in front of the net. Fisher looking at a potential open net, but Seabass is there to cut back in front of it. Decent ideas here in the neutral for Team Fisher. I mentioned how this was one of the most important phases of their gameplay that they need to focus on. Seems like they've got it, and Alpha is there for this one this time around too. They're just making themselves available in every possible area. We can't quite break through.
And Fisher trying to bully the net there to allow a little bit of safe passage for that shot, but excellent read and adjustment out of Seabass. Front of the net, Monster for the clear, the follow-up, Josher answers it! That's the tie! That is exactly what Team Fisher needed to bring this one back. And here now tied 1 apiece with a minute 30 on it. Team Fisher are right back into the series.
And I love the punish game. Again, they are just waiting for Team.exe to throw something their way, and then they're going to make contact with it. They're going to do something impactful. And that is a fairly easy example, of course. Just let the opponent hit it to you and then toss it on target. There's nobody available for it. They've been doing those kinds of little mind games multiple times now. Again, here Seabass forced to toss it up to the side. Fisher prepared for the touch. It's into the middle, and there is goal number 2. Precisely like clockwork.
How are you going to read something like this from Fisher? The touch onto the corner, and what an angle of a shot to just propel it right to the net. Nobody on Team Tito expecting that corner to drop like that. And it's exactly what Team Fisher needed to bring their lead into a 2-1. Fisher looking for number 3. Monster barely getting touched. The follow-up from Alpha. Another crossbar from Seabass. And now Team Tito setting for the counterplay. Fisher has to hit the defender. Tito downfield ties us up once more.
You could not ask for a more emphatic 2-goal swing there. I cannot believe that Seabass was able to come across and make that diving pre-jump save. But here we are, and then Tito is there with the counterattack. Oh my goodness, the players are having just a ball in the chat presently with some friendly banter. 60 seconds, we still need to find a winner in this game.
Good sportsmanship is exactly what you need in a grand final. Just to know that these players are putting their heart into it as well. Monster over Alpha, has to follow up on Tito, can't get the bump. Joshua corners it. And the bump onto Seabass now allows a little bit of safe passion for Fisher. Pops it up. Monster, a little bit of a piece. Pinch downfield. Not dangerous, though, as should be able to reset this on the defense. No, Tito collapsing the net. Stays to the corner from Joshua here. In the air, Seabass trying to work his magic. Can he drop down to Tito? No, can't. Another 50-50. Fisher just keeping it in the corner. Alpha. Would have been a shot, but Seabass is there for the clear.
All 10 seconds. Still anybody's game. Golden goal territory here. Joshua towards the net. Secondary touch. No meaning on that one. Fisher also turned away. Tito with Seabass in support. 0 boost here for Tito, but plenty of options. Keeps it pumped in the mid, but there's nobody close enough. It was a double commit in the corner. Completely vulnerable net when it touches the ground at time. And we'll go to extra innings.
A little bit dangerous, but here we are. Next goal could be the grand final point, or it could be the means to the next one. Oh, Tito almost ending the series there. Shot off the crossbar. A little bit of sweat off the brow if you are Team Fisher, as you're able to stay alive now and try to work your way out of this trap right now that they have.
Win condition for them. Really return to the neutral game and make some sort of impact in doing so. Alpha against Monster. Oh, the musty is there! Seabass with a save, though! And Tito is able to bail them out. They'll have another run at it. Joshua off of the ceiling looking for some sort of a pinch, but Seabass just bombs that ball all the way back downfield. Close calls on both ends now in OT. But we continue to play.
Demo's going to be here. Can you find the front of the net? Seabass just keeping it popped up right on the front grill. And now for the breakout. 1-2 from Monster to Seabass. Nobody to keep in this pressure. Save from Joshua as it was on target, but now working their way downfield, cuts it to the mid zone. Fisher can't get a solid shot off net. Is going to have to corner it, and Tito relieving a little bit of pressure off them. Big demo and Alpha.
Oh, nice real estate here on the backboard. Be able to force this one off to the side wall. Pressure on both of these teams is quite immense, but you can see that they are playing effectively in the corner and on the backboard whenever needed. This might be another situation where they have to, and oh my goodness, the speed there from Fisher, just shutting down any opportunity early on. Alpha is also there, phenomenally quick. Joshua Doink way up high. Fisher is there, off to the backboard. Seabass, no contact from Seabass, and Joshua is there to punish. This series will march on.
We're headed to game 4. Team Fisher, they stay alive, and I was getting a little bit worried on that one because in the past, in the history for Team Fisher, longer drawn-out games have always been kind of a mistake waiting to happen inside of them. This time around, they get the job done. They push us to a map number 4, or game number 4, and you look at the stats here, and you look at exactly what we got out of there. 7 shots from Alpha, 2 assists, a catalyst to what we got on Team Fisher and making sure that they keep the pressure on to Team Tito, as it was Josher who walks away with 2 goals and Fisher a third. I think Alpha doing a great job of just being that playmaker, making sure that Team Fisher always keeping the pressure on Team Tito, not allowing them to put Team Fisher on the defense.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the key parts of this game that we talked about, is for Team.exe, you know, they just got to stay on the attack. They can't let up at all. And look what happens when Team Fisher gets out onto the attack, then things are changing drastically, you know, at all times. You cannot allow that neutral game to be controlled by Team Fisher. As soon as you let that happen, I mean, all bets are off. You really don't know where the game is going to go from there. So if I am Team Tito right now, you know, just try to lock down that midfield. Do not let anything happen in any sort of impactful way at all. Otherwise, it could be game changing.
Game number 4, the grand finals, everybody. Still Team Tito on grand final point, but and Fisher push us to a game 5 here. Alpha, look at the solo, and Josher open net. What a way to open up game 4.
Imagine that. Josher, oh my goodness, receiving from Alpha. What a dunk there as well. Around 1 and keeping that one away from Seabass. At least just enough to keep it in the middle. And Josher, all they got to do is play janitorial duties at that point.
Here on DFH Stadium. Fisher looking for that game 5 at the moment. Tito sends it wide. The neutral coverage so far, Fisher have been doing a great job at denying a breakout from Team Tito. And again, the Shrike double commit, in fact, is the 3rd player there. Yeah, Fisher cuts it on Dell, but Josher can't recover. Tito off the draw, pushes it back downfield. Now things are going to have to be dangerous here. You're looking at a quick breakout, or Seabass is going to drop this right down in front. Josher's there to stop it, as he's looking to carry this one out. Sets it up for Fisher, but an interception. Seabass, the redirection. Let's go back to a tie game.
And Josher, no flick there. Unfortunate to say the very least. Definitely not happy about that one. He's thrown Y in the chat a couple of times, so I'll just say that. 4 minutes 15 to go, though. Still nothing really to say about this game at this point. We haven't seen too much of a development with it so far. There's been, you know, a couple of individual focused plays on either end. Speaking of, Fisher trying for a redirect here. Nice shot, Fisher, as he makes no contact with that one. Tito will be able to guide it down now into the offensive path here for Team Tito.
Centers it out, looking for Alpha. Seabass keeps it 50. Back in the zone, trying to put some pressure on here, and this is what you were worried about. This is the pressure that is scary from Team Tito. Once they start dominating the middle of the net, it's hard to break on out. Fisher might have just cracked the code early, but Tito says no. Puts it right on target, forces a double commit, and that's where you have to get the recovery. Alpa's there to save it out. Fisher looking for the break, but again, a miss into the corner here. Things getting a little bit shaky for the team, the demo, and he threads the needle.
That he does, and of course, if there was even anybody else left after this demolition, then it certainly would not have mattered, because that smoke screen is going to be covering a heck of a lot of their vision. 2-1 lead now for Team Tito. Things are not looking so hot here for Fisher. I mean, you mentioned it. It seems like they're getting completely locked down here on the defensive side. And of course, this was the change that I wanted to see for Team Tito and Team.exe, but I didn't expect it to come so easily to them.
Did not expect it either. Tito, a chance if the miss came through, but downfield, a whiff from Alpha. It's going to provide a breakout for Tito. Double commit, Alpha in the air. Look for the reset, can't get it. Second shot on net, nope. Save from Tito. Fisher up in the air, can he put it on target? He can, but Seabass, easy save. And now Tito working for the breakout. He's going to get that in the neutral zone. It's a fight, it's a little bit of skirmish, and Seabass is going to come out on top.
It's only as far as the corner, though. Fisher has got it down, looking for the air bump even. Tito, not exactly, I think, the contact they were looking for. I do find Seabass with it. A little bit too easy to save away. Fisher, though, not looking so hot with his control. And again, the defense has been looking a little bit shaky here and there from Team Fisher throughout the night. I think that kind of stands strong here. We noted that in the last game especially, it looked like they were prepared to punish on a lot of the things that were thrown out by Team.exe, right? It was a lot of just, you know, throw the ball at them and then wait for them to hit the ball and make a play based off of that. Of course, it's a very simplistic philosophy when you put it that way, but in practice, it does work quite well. They have been unable to make those impactful touches like before, and speaking of, Alpha had a lot of space to shoot at, could not find it.
Fisher from above, looking to be proactive on this one, out to Josher in the corner. He actually dukes it out into Tito, pops it up in front of the net. Seabass has to commit to it. Monster second for the breakout. No, Fisher beats him to it. Now Alpha, chance to set things up. Josher's in the center field. Can he get it to him? No, Seabass is able to stabilize once more for Team Tito. It's going to be thrown back downfield, and it is on target. 2-goal lead from Team Tito, and a Hail Mary to bring him there.
Fisher feels that flip. That is the only thing you can really say about that. Oh boy. Well, you're just gonna have to live with it now. 3-1 out of your favor. 80 seconds to go now. Something has to be done at this point. And they figure out what exactly that thing, that something that they need is. Because I'll be honest, Team Tito, they've been playing a heck of a lot smarter of late.
As they have Josher. And win it out on a Monster, pushes it downfield. That's a double commit as well, so not a strong defense right now for Team Fisher, but Fisher's there to save the day. Under 60 seconds, Monster still keeping the aggression up, playing for the flip reset, but can't get it. He's going to drop right down. Now for the breakout attempt. An attempt that is Tito to Monster. Monster for the redirect is off target. Alpha's able to get it out from that danger zone. Still, though, pretty dangerous here. Tito for the redirect. Another one off target. Seabass not in a place to put it through, and by the time Monster gets there, Josh is able to rotate and shut it down.
Just in time, but at this point, defense not going to win you the game. They need to get out onto the attack immediately. From the sidewall does not have nearly close enough control. Now Monster just wasting so much time. Almost even puts another one on the board. Bit of a double commit now. Tito and Seabass. Team Fisher needs to score right now. And the control out of their favor. That will do it. There are no more extra lives for Team Fisher. And Team Tito, or better known as Team.exe, will take the win here today. As soon as the ball touches the ground, the players don't want to let it go. I respect it. But all good things must come to an end.
Looking for the consolation goal at the end there. Everybody putting it away. But yeah, Team Tito, your champions now. The GMR Center Community Event number 2. Walking away with 1.2K. A big prize at the end of it. And a title of first place. Feels good at that, but it's not going to mean that Team Fisher walk away with nothing. No, they're going to walk away with $900 amongst themselves to work with. What a day of Rocket League we got. What a grand finals. And yes, I mean, Team Tito, they looked like the better team the whole time through. But I mean, Team Fisher, they pushed us to a game 4, even at the disadvantage. They were able to work their way back into it.
Yeah, I was very excited to see the dynamic that played out throughout that. And of course, you know, Fisher and Alpha, they have been around the CRL scene for a little bit. And for those who don't know, you know, I've been working in and around the CRL scene for pretty much for as long as it's been around. So I was very excited to see them play here today, take that second place. You know, not exactly optimal. Obviously, there are some amazing players, but when you're coming up against a top caliber team like Team.exe, who have made significant waves in the past, it's difficult to perform consistently. And they did make changes during the games, and I gotta hand it to them. It was a good effort, but
it was.
Unfortunately, effort isn't the only thing that matters. You don't get A for effort in Rocket League.
No, you don't. You need to come out with goals if you want to take that win. At the end of it, they just couldn't find the back of the net. I want to give a big shout out to our producer behind the scenes, pressing all the buttons, just staying alive, for keeping everything so smooth, working everything so magically behind the scenes. If you guys haven't already, go check out gmr.center. The Festival of Gaming. That's what this is right now. The Festival of Gaming event, which has a total prize pool of $300,000. And you yourself, you can sign up at gmr.center to keep updated with all the Festival of Gaming news. And as we mentioned before, there are giveaways as well. So go check out GMR Center on Twitter. Sign up for those giveaways. There's a $1,200 PC and a $100 Amazon gift card on the line. If you haven't already, go sign up, because those are some pretty sweet deals if you do walk away on top. But that's going to be it for tonight. Congratulations to Team Tito for walking away with that first place $1,200.
We'll see you next time for some more GMR Center community events. Stay tuned for some more GMR on Twitter for all the news. We'll see you next time.